Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome to the stream. We're going to be continuing our Milothicc specifically, runner from yesterday. See if we can go all the way. Who knows? And I doubt it, but you know, it'd be nice if I won, but I'm not gonna think on it. Let's go ahead and get started. Ooh, what a great noise. Love to hear it. All right, so where we last left off, we got into we got to Celadon. And now, you know, we're not in Celadon anymore. Yo, what's going on, Chespy? Yeah, Milothicc. We got a Milothicc running, boy. Yo, what's going on, Moondrop Showdown? Wow, oh my gosh. I'm not trying to name you after a buffet, I promise. Showdown.
And honestly, it doesn't look too crazy at first glance. It's just a brown course with a white sky.
Good.
No
HM for fly. Yes, good.
The water driving like in the newer games. The walls are practically right on.
No, I don't know. How am I? I'm doing good. I'm doing pretty good. Hopefully we can, you know, beat KAIZO today, but I doubt it. I'm not gonna get my hopes up. Once we get to Celadon, what do we do after that? I think we just go to the do the rocket hideout thing, right? You're good? Awesome. I'm glad to hear it, dude.
Probably the fact that this
you're gonna be even better because you're in a yacht dream, I mean. Just kidding. I know we can get to Saffron, but I don't really think there's any reason to. I don't think there's like anything in this town that I need to do. So yeah, we got to do the rocket hideout now, I believe. So we're gonna do that. Oh, before we do that, I'm gonna go to the go to the shop in Saffron, so I can sell a bunch of useless items and then get some extra pels. Already better. I already am better here. I was honestly so bored on this day, but now I'm not. Awesome. I'm glad to hear it, dude. You know, it's been kind of a slow day for me too, honestly. That's why I want to do more KAIZO, baby. I can't remember the order. Yeah. Like iffy, but I think I just do the rocket hideout now.
Then push the control stick
pretty sure.
in the opposite direction that the turn is and push it back again. The smoke
sell everything that is completely useless.
Control stick again and the smoke turns orange. That means your mini turbo is complete, and when you let go of R, you get a slight speed boost. It sounds like this will be a slow process, but a skilled player can execute dozens of these mini turbos in a row around the course.
I have 3 never melt ices, seriously. Kind of funny. I have 4 smoke balls. It's crazy.
The entire start of Choco Mountain is fittingly
there we go.
Around a
All right, now let's just max out on MyAAPels.
This overhead view. After going through the tunnel, you drive along a winding section with hills on both sides of you. Then
that's pretty much the only thing to do in Saffron for a while.
With boulders falling from above.
For me, it feels like it's been like this for
a few more bouncing hills.
Been like this day, but 3 hours ahead.
All right, doesn't seem so
Fair enough.
right?
All right, we officially entered the rocket thing. We cannot leave until
in February 1997.
Well, until we
but it didn't take too long
leave.
People figured out that there was a lot more to this track.
Can't leave till we beat Giovanni or get the silk
It
scope.
all started with a shortcut that was discovered literally right after the game came out. Although several players probably discovered the
easy money
independently of one another, it was first documented in an email from legendary Mario Kart 64 player David Wan from April 19th.
Item here. Master Ball, completely useless. Well, almost completely, I guess. Okay, now we can go down here, and then we want to go here
the email
first.
Provided the following instructions for performing the shortcut. Drive through Choco.
We got Ice Heal. Okay, not useless.
To the part where you can see the overpass on your left.
Play at 400
time trial mode.
speed.
See a guardrail.
And just being a little bit too fast for me right now.
Just before it starts going downhill, and then turn 90 degrees to your left. Drive into the wall and press the R button to jump at about the moment.
Don't think I have to fight you. Okay, good.
And you will jump right over the wall.
You're in Psychic only and Violet. Nice.
Became known as a wall jump.
Let me know how that goes.
Anywhere in the game.
Ooh, X special. That's really good.
Wall and press R to hop the instant before you hit the wall.
Sounds tough.
Jump off of the wall and go much
yeah, Psychic is a very bad type, like defensively.
Per second on the NTSC version.
Oh, that did nothing. My defense is really good.
You have a 30th of a second to time a wall jump, but since your cart is traveling so fast, sometimes it's not possible at all to time the wall jump.
Number team, yeah, sure. Lay it on me.
It's actually smaller than the length that your cart travels in a frame if you're going top speed. So sometimes your cart skips over that perfect position and hits the wall before you have a chance to jump.
Drowsy, Bronzor, Ralts, and you got 2 Raltses? I'm guessing so you can get both of the evolution lines.
Looking at the overhead view of Choco Mountain, it's easy to see why this saves so much time. The shortcut is performed here, and you're
nice.
lower portion to the upper.
I don't know how long you have to wait till you can get a Dawnstone though. I don't remember in that game. I don't really play that game that much, so.
The idea was to put a guardrail on the upper portion so you wouldn't fall off onto the lower portion, and put a wall next to the lower portion so you couldn't get up to the top. But with the wall jump being
completely useless.
That pretty much eliminated the wall barrier. So as long as players were able to press the R button at the right time and didn't get 0 framed, they would be able to skip the long loop around the water with boulders falling and save a few seconds. In that same email, David Wan provided the first 2 shortcut world record times for Choco Mountain. 29:86 for the fastest single lap, and 1:32:53 for the fastest 3 laps. Unfortunately,
okay, before we fight Giovanni, I want to get these items and fight some other trainers.
Still, the times were particularly important because they set the groundwork for the 2 ways Choco Mountain.
I'm gonna go down swinging.
Either non-shortcut,
I'm gonna go down
like normal, or shortcut, where you do the wall jump.
Nice, level up.
Over the next couple of months in
you're annoying.
There were reports that players lowered the shortcut times by realizing that you didn't need to actually stop to do the wall jump, and could instead just drift into the wall like this. I
don't want to use too many thunder punches just because I
world record down to a 128, and someone with the nickname ABE apparently took it down to 1.
I want to have as much type diversity as I can for Giovanni.
Came June 24th, 1997.
Ideally, I guess
David Wan would send out another email.
I don't really have a great. Oh wait, Crunch is resisted. Why wouldn't the world would I just go for Flame Wheel or something?
If you thought the wall jump was crazy, get ready. David
or Burn's annoying. I think I have a Rost, yeah. I should have a regular potion, right?
Juan had already
I got a super potion.
The great
lemonade.
But this
energy, I believe a full restore.
Were discovered within the same 24 hours.
Yeah, so no, I don't have any baby heals, unfortunately. The only baby heal I have is a super potion. I'll probably just end up using that if I have to.
To the left and jump the mountain. Rapidly jump with the R button while driving into the mountain. If you do this in the right place,
Sandstream's so annoying.
Clear the mountain and your cart will flip for a few seconds and land just behind 3 hills immediately behind the finish line. Let's see what's actually happening here. The player's goal is to get from about this spot to about this spot. Normally,
XP candy grinding to evolve Drowsy before the first gen. Wow.
You'll just tumble down when you get to the top.
That's crazy.
As you can see in
the
2008 video from Matthias Rustemeyer, there's one polygon here at the top that you can just barely jump onto.
Yeah, so I'd be down there, but it's just a.
It'll cause you to tumble down the other way, skipping you across the whole loop. Shortcut number 2.
All right, I think there's a trainer down here.
Go directly into the wall on your left.
Yeah.
Drive into it at full speed and.
Well, 26. Yeah, that's not too late, thankfully.
In the right place, you will clear the wall and land in the
Blissey's
same area
thick.
as in the first shortcut. This shortcut was more or less a faster version of the jump scaling shortcut. You end up cutting out a little less of the track.
I'm gonna conserve some power points here.
Save from not having to jump your way up.
Okay, you already fought you. Okay, so we got everyone down here.
Shortcut number 3.
Wait, right?
At the very beginning.
Okay, yeah, we got everyone down there.
Drive around 1 cart length forward from the start and drive into the wall on your left.
Okay, let's go take on Giovanni and then we'll take on the rest of the trainers if I can.
And you might land.
Wait, no, I can't do that. They leave once I.
If you do it
No, they don't in this actually. They don't. I forgot.
This one might look the most crazy of all of them.
Forgot that they don't do that.
All that was happening was you got boosted up to right around the point where the track overlaps itself.
Dear Lord, let me leave.
You're right next to the tunnel, so it puts you inside of it when you get set back down.
Is there a way to like do like custom speed up here?
Time trials mode, since he'd only gotten it to work in the Grand Prix 150cc mode. Your top speed is slightly faster in 150cc than in time trials, and since you needed to jump up so high, the more speed you had, the better. Well, now the floodgates. No,
unfortunately, there's not really a way to pick up speed. Unfortunately.
Any skilled player who
you're in the cloth first.
David Wan was once again the first to do so, providing times of 23:81 for the.
Alright, just trying to envision it in my brain because I'm kind of yikes with the newer Pokemon sometimes. That build's fine.
Scaling shortcut ended up being pretty useless for his purposes. It was
suck.
The huge wall jump shortcut at the start didn't help him much either, since world records were done in time trials instead of 150cc.
Okay, we're gonna have to heal here.
But this hill jump was huge.
Let's just use a cherry berry. Wait, hold on. Do we have a paralysis heal? Because that'd be better.
It wasn't incredibly difficult. Just time the jump correctly and hope you didn't get 0 framed. That's where the 5-second time save came from over Juan's old single lap record,
No,
and how he was able to cut off so much time over the.
We're just gonna have to use
His strategy was to
cherry
do a
berry
hill
here.
jump and drive as well as he could for the fastest single lap, and do a hill jump once each lap for the 3-lap record.
I'm playing it really risky. Yeah, I gotta heal here. I
More
can't risk
skilled
it.
Players came along to take the record
Let's
lower.
use our lemonade.
Keep in mind, the mentality of speedrunning was different back in the late 90s. It operated more off of a system of trust and respect. If you were a respected runner who
You lived on
consistently
1
submitted
HP, dude,
videos
really?
or some videotapes, most reasonable times you submitted would be accepted even without much evidence. A lot of world record runs didn't have video.
Okay, we beat Giovanni.
Well documented other than
A little
old
rough.
websites
We had to
and
use a
Yahoo
heal,
posts.
but
So it's nearly impossible to decipher exactly
it's whatever.
what world records when in Mario Kart 64 from back in the late 90s. From what I can gather, the world records for Choco
Oh wait, Secret Pass at contact?
times in late 1997
That's good to know.
and early
That's actually really good to know.
Jason Walls, Kevin Booth, Jonathan Bernier, and possibly a few other people all took turns lowering the Choco Mountain shortcut records in 97 and 98. But a guy named Alex...
Dude, I swear everything has rough skin in this file. I'm not even joking.
Nobody had held
Like,
a
I don't know what is
Choco
going
Mountain
on.
shortcut record for longer than a few months. Penev would end up holding the 3-lap Choco Mountain shortcut record for a total of...
Alright, is there any other trainers I skipped?
He would end up holding the 1-lap
don't think
record
so.
for a total of more than 6 years.
Yeah, I think I got everyone.
Penev is well known for having speedran dozens of games at very high
Yeah,
levels.
I think I got everyone.
Nearly
Alright, we
every
can leave.
Mario Kart game, other Mario games, and Zelda, just to name a few. His first Choco Mountain record achieved was the 1-lap record on September
I found another
28th,
psychic type,
1998.
but it won't stay on this
He
team
was
for very long.
proceeded to lower
Oh.
this record 12 times.
Fair enough.
The only
Is it
time
just
he
not
held
good?
this record from
Or do you just not like
December
using it?
2005 was a 1-year span from August 2001 through August 2002 when Miller had the record.
Actually, you know what? I should buy some
Penev
Pokeballs.
also realized that the tunnel warp at the start was possible to do in time trials if you drift into the wall like this. It saved around 2 seconds.
Should be more
and
than enough.
using it, he lowered the 1-lap time down
Alright.
to sub 20
Got a
seconds.
point. Oh yeah, that's not that
His
good.
reign over the 3-lap record
Alright, now that we
was
did
similar. The first
that,
time
I
in
believe we
1998,
gotta go do
below
Lavender
7
Town now.
seconds. The only
So
time
let's
he
go do
broke
that.
this record from then until December 2005 was a 2-year span from May
Feel
2001
more
to
humble than
2002
they can be.
with
My
7
tumble
world
after a
record.
stumble left him
Now,
covered
there's
in
one
a
very
big pot of
important distinction
gumbo.
about Alex Penev that I have to make. He played on the PAL
I guess we'll use a Petchy Berry here.
NTSC version
I'm
of
planning to
Mario
use
Kart
Hypno,
runs
Golay,
about 30
Gardevoir,
frames per
Bronzong,
second,
Medicham. So, bro,
while
it's a
the
pretty
PAL
fire
version
team.
runs at 25
Medicham
frames
gets
per second.
pure power, right?
This meant that the PAL version only ran
Or is that,
at
I think it's just his hit ability. I don't really remember.
So not only
be
would
honest,
the game
but-
be played in slightly slower motion on PAL, but all times would be about 17% slower too.
Okay, where's my repels?
In order to compensate for this,
Alright, we're gonna slow down here because I don't want to fight any trainers that don't have to.
rank system, which could accurately compare
Watch for that.
times with each version of the game. A 30-second lap on PAL, for example, would be equivalent to a 25-second lap on NTSC. For simplicity's sake, I'm just going to be referring to most PAL times as their NTSC equivalent. Anyway, Penev was able to take the fastest lap time down about half a second.
This is my
21.58 seconds by
native
his driving
land.
better, and then to
You're
about
so
19.5 seconds by
mean,
using the tunnel
Mona.
jump.
Hair
was
pot
cutting
wider
corners
than
tighter,
a
having
country
cleaner mini
road.
turbos,
Unless
all while
you
doing a
can't
hill jump every
catch, you
time.
died
He would take the
alone.
3-lap time down to 107.32
Mona
by 2002 by doing the
Lisa
same thing.
da 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 da.
In the first few months of Mario Kart 64's release, 4 shortcuts were found on Choco
Level up
Mountain.
here? Ah, so
Over
close.
the next several years,
Moonstone,
0
alright.
shortcuts were found. Instead, a few were theorized. In the early 2000s, Miller theorized a trick where you would bounce off
I'm
of the wall
99.9% sure I'm gonna have to fight this trainer, but I want this
Although he
item.
got some very
That's
strange
big, that's it.
bounces from the walls, he was
Ah,
never
yeah.
able to get his trick to work.
Just for levels, nice. Not bad, not bad.
Red Eye from the Mario Kart forums also theorized a trick. It was very similar
Anyone
to
should
the
one shot?
existing
Yeah,
launch
Dunsparce
mechanic
isn't
Red
usually
Eye.
that strong, so.
Only instead of
Hey,
getting
we finally got
hit
to
by
200 special attack.
he
We
would hold
getting there,
left when he
boys.
jumped and completely clear over the
next
wall
to
and land.
a girl.
Once again, however, while this trick was attempted, nobody was able to get it to work. Yes, Choco Mountain was still an unsolved puzzle. Although some pieces of it were put
I guess
together,
they use crunch.
it was clear there was still a lot more to the track that hadn't yet been found. But while they searched for more shortcuts, they figured they might as well get some more world records as well.
Valerian is really fast, so it's gonna outspeed me here. Oh no, it didn't this time. I guess it's too low.
Which is more than a second and a half faster than Penev's
Next
best time.
to a
It was
girl.
the same route of doing
Do
a
something
tunnel
before
jump
fighting
at the
Cloth.
start
Sounds
and
good.
doing a hill jump.
Oh
The
right, I
trick
forgot you
was
have to
so
do the Titans in that
quickly
game,
landed
right?
safely on the track
Wait, I
without
forgot about that.
landing
Ooh, and
on
Ether's
the
really
other
good.
side. This lap would end up standing for over 4 years. For the 3-lap record, Carlo and Miles took turns lowering it with the help of a tunnel jump and 3 hill jumps. Recorded runs were much more common at this point, but as you could see from Carlo's videotapes, they weren't always of the highest quality.
Okay, I already marked you up
A
to speed.
camcorder recording of a VHS tape was sometimes the best we have.
Ooh, super potion, nice.
Well,
Take those
now
baby
moving
heals.
on to the year 2007.
I think we have to
It's
fight
time
you.
to introduce you to
Yeah,
one of my
we have to
favorite
kill the
speedrunners of
Laron.
all time. You may not have heard of him before, but you're definitely not going to forget him now. This is VAJ. VAJ began getting Mario Kart 64 world records in the mid-2000s, and by 2007 he was working on Choco Mountain. On May 8th of that year, he got a new world record,
That's
a 1:12.50 on PAL,
Stop!
to a 1-minute flat time for TSC, done by
getting annoying.
executing 3 hill jumps and 2 tunnel jumps.
Hey, you really can't. I do not like zero elegance.
But he was too hyped
Next to my girl.
He turned on his camcorder and filmed his reaction to the time first.
Amphy, I'm so sorry, bud.
Talking about muchacho world record. Let's do it again. Check this out. Woo!
Okay, I gotta remember if they were trained or not.
As much of a character as VAJ is,
I meant to go
he's
for
also
flame
an
wheel.
incredibly good Mario Kart 64 player. One of the best ever to play the game, in fact. This 3-lap time of his stood for nearly 7 years, and in the meantime, he was busting out world record after world record on nearly every game. One of those world records was for Choco Mountain 1 lap. He lowered MYAA's 4.5-year-old world record in 2010 before being beaten by Carlo, and then he eventually took it down to a 17:59 or a 21:15 on PAL in 2013. He didn't record a reaction video this time, unfortunately.
You didn't ask me
He
that
did provide
time.
a video of the run
but
itself.
at the
No
high
new
levels,
strategies were used. It was all just the tunnel jump and the hill jump once again. But you can see how tightly he was cutting all of his turns. He was trying to leave no margin of error for anybody to beat his time. So
Alright, I think we full cleared. Pretty
VAJ
sure.
is in control of both Choco Mountain shortcut records, and for the past
I'm
decade,
pretty
the
sure
discovery of new strategies
that we
has been
full
pretty
cleared
important.
this
But remember
tower.
back in 2005,
I fought
Greg
you.
posted about a theoretical shortcut where you
You're
jump
just not a
completely
trainer.
over the wall at the start and land on the track below. For 9
I
years,
fight
it seemed to be no more
you.
than a theory.
Alright, yeah, we got everyone.
And then in February 2014, Greg posted this in
Greg?
the Mario Kart forums.
Greg.
Greg called out the possibility of this trick, and 9 years later, he was the one to do it for the first time.
I'm gonna mark it up just in case.
He hit the wall in the perfect spot, held left, and was able to completely clear
Here we
the
go,
wall
chest down, it's clock time, nice.
As you can see, this
You
trick
can do
skips a
it.
whole loop at the start, just like the old tunnel jump did. But instead of having Lakitu pick you up all the time or keep
Alright, now that we got the
spinning,
poke flute, we
you
can do whatever the
simply
frick we
keep going.
want.
The key to
Relatively.
this trick was the setup.
Okay, I'm gonna pull up the map here
here
because we're gonna do
If you're holding down using a mushroom while touching a
we're gonna
wall,
do
the
Victory
wall
Road, not Victory
initially
Road,
holds you back and
cycling
drastically
road.
increases your speed. When you release from the wall, you'll fly forward at a really high speed. So high a speed that when you
Alright,
jump off
we're gonna
the
go
wall, you'll be able
to
completely
Celadon
clear it and
here.
skip getting picked up by Lakitu. This trick would be
Already
known
healed,
as
I
the
don't know what we're
Greg
doing.
style, named after its creator. It saved around 2 seconds
Muchacha!
of the tunnel jump, and throughout February 2014, Greg and Zoran took turns lowering the 1-lap record until it came down to a 15:88, held by Greg.
Greg?
Now, Greg
Greg.
around 9:30 a.m. on
Up with the
February
Greg,
2nd,
but I can't help it.
Mario Kart 64 players from around the world immediately flocked to the thread to congratulate him on his find. Some were amazed by the find.
Mark it
while
as
some
like
were getting
even
really
participants, I
excited for the
guess.
record. However, one person's reaction was different from everybody else's.
Muchacha!
Whether or not,
Oh.
commonly called Weatherton in the Mario Kart 64 community. Weatherton is a Mario Kart 64 tasser, someone who plays the game in
I don't think I
entirely
marked it up. I
different
think we're good on
tools, such as slowing
Lapras.
everything
Yeah.
down, moving frame by frame, and making
Aha, I have shed coverage.
theoretically perfect run. Weatherton
Oh no,
was
he
excited
did
about
out.
this new discovery.
I don't think I
But he
did.
immediately had an idea to make it even better. At 1 in the afternoon on February 2nd, about 3.5 hours after Greg's
Oh no,
original
you
post,
did out.
Weatherton said that he thought a sub-10-second lap was possible. His idea was to jump off the wall.
Can I ask what you're listening to? I'm watching this. I just put on Summoning Salt. It's one of my favorite YouTubers, if not my favorite YouTuber of all time. Definitely recommend you go check him out.
So he used his task abilities to try to get it to work. The next day, February 3rd at 7:30 in the evening, he posted 2 discoveries. 1, he wasn't able to land his trick, and 2, he had just found a different trick. probably the craziest trick in Mario Kart 64's history, the Weather Tanko.
The Weather Tanko! Sounds boring. He basically talks about video game speedrun world record histories. This is one of his older videos. His newer videos are way better. Well, better, not way better. They're all amazing, but
a 6-second
okay, I fought you.
How is it possible? The answer lies in how the game handles checkpoints around the track. We know from the old tunnel jump that if you get stuck at the top of the hill, the game thinks you're in the tunnel and Lakitu will drop you there. For the Weather Tanko, you need to hit a very precise place on the wall so that your character will clip into the wall ever so slightly. This too makes the game think that you're at the tunnel. Then, once you drop back down,
oh, I saw the Petch Barrier and well, it was a waste.
The game will think you're at the end of the lap, so all you need to do is cross it. A 6-second lap was miles ahead of what anyone dreamed could ever be possible. But keep in mind, this was a tool-assisted speedrun, so it wasn't a world record, but rather a proof of concept. Just because someone could prove that the trick was possible didn't mean a human could pull it off quite yet. This trick had a lot of parts to it. You needed to not get zero framed, bounce high enough, hit the exact right part of the wall, and bounce far enough to the left to land behind the finish line. Some of the top-ranked players around the world began trying to be the first human to hit the trick. VAJ, who is ranked number 1 in the world for shortcuts, Greg, who is ranked number 2,
Greg.
players like Miller and Jones.
I swear I'll stop saying Greg every time he says Greg. I'm sorry. It's just
still nobody had been able to land the
imprinted in my brain memory.
They came close, getting all sorts of jumps near the top of the wall, but it was just too precise for anybody to land. At least until August 3rd. That day,
Fight me.
Able to pull off the Weather Tanko.
You finally.
But it wasn't VAJ or Greg or any of the really highly ranked shortcut players. It was the 29th ranked shortcut player, a guy with the username Abney317.
Why do so many of these mods have focus punch? It feels like anyway.
589. This beat the old single lap record by 10 seconds. And as you can imagine, people freaked out. This was Abney's first world record, not just for Choco Mountain, but in all of Mario Kart 64 speedrunning. Nobody was able to take it from him for a few months. But that November, the competition heated up again. On November 5th, 2014, Patricio managed to take the record from Abney with a 544. Abney decided that he didn't feel like losing the Weather Tanko record, so he did some attempts on the same day and beat Patricio's time twice, ultimately getting the record down to a 488. But guess who came back the very next day to break Abney's record?
Your mama. No.
Check this out! I beat the task, yo! Second lap, man! I don't have the replay because I pressed start and it happened in 10 minutes. Just 10 minutes, man! 10 minutes after my 517 on the first lap. I was like, you know what? Let's try second lap. And
that hurt.
Motherfucker. I went over the finish. I just pressed the shroom. I jumped and then I hit it. I was like, whoa! Fuck it out, Ebony. I got you, man. PJ's back, yo. Check this out, yo.
VAJ would hold on to this record of 3.26 for a few months, but Abney would end up tying and eventually beating his time in the early months of 2015. Abney would continue lowering the one-lap record closer and closer to 3 seconds flat over the next few years.
You need your music by no problem. Have a great day. Appreciate you staying by.
Had not yet been written.
Even if for a little.
Before the Weather Tanko was discovered, you would have to drive around the track and get as many hill jumps or tunnel jumps as possible to get a world record. The Weather Tanko completely changed the playing field. You're given 3 mushrooms to work with in time trials, so you could potentially hit 3 Weather Tankos, 1 on each lap, and be done with the whole race super quickly, in under 20 seconds possibly. So by late 2014, the question...
Probably come back, no problem.
How many Weather Tankos could...
I may or may not be winning today, so probably not a bad idea.
For a while, the answer was just 1. Abney got a couple of 3-lap records that were under a minute shortly after he pulled off the first Weather Tanko in November 2014. These were both done by executing 1 Weather Tanko at the start, and then trying to land as many hill jumps as possible after. On January 16th, 2015, Abney once again made history. He became the first person to pull off 2 Weather Tankos in the same run. This pushed the 3-lap record down to 44 seconds, and that's where it stood for more than a year. Was hitting 3 out of 3 weather tankos
Wow,
possible?
2 Firestones in a row. That's
Sure,
like
theoretically
astronomical
it
odds right
was.
there.
But Abney's odds of hitting a weather tanko on any given attempt were only about 1 in 40. He needed to hit 3 of these in a row, so that put the odds at about 1 in 64,000 that an attempt would be able to hit 3 weather tankos. In the summer of 2017, Abney made a decision. He was going to try to get a 3 out of 3 weather tanko run, and nothing was going to stop him. He was going to start, hit a weather tanko, immediately set up and hit another one, and then immediately set up and hit a third one. Back to back to back. And I know what a lot of you are probably thinking right now.
No, you don't.
Why was Abney bothering to do this? He was literally booting up his stream just to drive into a wall over and over again for a few hours. You'd think that it would be incredibly boring to watch him do these attempt sessions, but that wasn't at all the case. He streamed all of his attempts on Twitch, and the chat there was filled with hundreds of people anxiously awaiting the one run that would be the one. They watched him as his attempt counter climbed higher and higher. First past 10,000 attempts, and then past 20,000. Most people wouldn't have had the patience to do these attempts nearly every day for weeks, but Abney knew Choco Mountain was at its breaking point.
Bro speeds me at level 39. That's crazy, bro.
Not even a jump, dude. Oh, God.
He had almost killed the most infamous track in the game. All he needed was one attempt.
Obviously. Bro's thick. Bro's a beefer.
Oh, God, dude. We got 2 out of 3 to, like, I already get the 2 out.
One perfect attempt that would grant him the title of one of the most legendary speedrun world records ever.
Which attempt was that, bruh?
Yes! Let's go! Let's go! That's it!
He got it.
Yes!
Alright.
Let's go.
Heck on this route. This one. Oh, hold on. Before I do this, let me go fight those trainers south of the fusion.
$26,461 attempts later, Abney had accomplished what was thought to be impossible. Choco Mountain had been all but destroyed. All the years of figuring out shortcut after shortcut, taking world record after world record, had finally culminated in a 3 out of 3 weather tanko. As of the time I'm making this video, nobody's replicated this feat, and I can't imagine what somebody would have to go to lower the 3-lap record anymore.
Bro's thick.
The 1-lap record, on the other hand, was recently taken below 3 seconds by a guy named Frankie.
Yes!
Abney's tied this time a couple of days later, and has been trying to push it lower ever since. In total, 13 people have been able to pull off a weather tanko, with 11 of them doing it in the time trials mode. The fastest time coming from the aforementioned world record, and the slowest time coming from Theodore 59. Another couple of quick things I have to mention. This game was released in Japan before it was released anywhere else in the world, so Japanese players had the records before anybody else did, and it's possible they may have had faster times than the rest of the world for a while. However, it's not really documented anywhere online, so it's impossible to add them into the timeline. And of course, there's a whole different side to Choco Mountain, the non-shortcut side, which is currently dominated by Matthias Rustemeyer. No wall jumps, hill jumps, or weather tankos allowed, just perfect driving around the course. Matthias is definitely one of the best people to ever play Mario Kart 64, maybe the best ever. The next time you're playing Mario Kart 64, try playing Choco Mountain. See if you could hop over any walls.
Level 69, you'll love to see it.
Maybe you'll be the next David Wan and discover new shortcuts, or the next Abney, and you're going to defy the odds to hit 3 weather tankos in a row again. Whatever it may be, you can be sure that you've done it on the most infamous track in the game.
No. Alright, next video. I don't.
Mario Kart Wii has a strange problem. This problem has nothing to do with the gameplay, the graphics, the music, or anything like that. No, the problem is with the game's mechanics. Many tracks allow you to do large skips and still have the lap count. A common definition was made for all of these shortcuts: the Ultra Shortcut. For the past decade, players have worked with each other to discover as many Ultra Shortcuts as possible. This is the story of those players and their journey to break Mario Kart Wii as much as they can.
That's weird. Yeah, the map just like froze.
Mario Kart Wii was released in April 2008. As with all Mario Kart games before it, you could play time trials to improve your fastest times on each course. Mario Kart Wii had a brilliant feature that made it so easy to share your fastest times with others. You could upload your best times as ghosts and anybody could view or race against it. This, combined with the growing popularity of internet forums and YouTube, meant that the Mario Kart Wii time trial scene exploded right out of the gate.
Oh, no more level
Hundreds of
69.
players would lower the world
Yep.
records down for each of the 32 courses in the game. Small corner cuts won't be featured in this video, like Bowser's Castle 3, DK Mountain, and Desert Hills, since they don't quite fit the definition of an ultra shortcut. These are nothing like what was about to be discovered. A couple of months after the game was released, something huge was found. It was a shortcut that would go on to be one of the most famous in the entire Mario Kart franchise, and you might have heard about it before.
Nope.
It shook the internet when it was discovered, with video after video appearing with it on YouTube. This is the Grumble Volcano Ultra Shortcut.
Not a very creative name. Brrr. Oh crap.
Someone named Ridley discovered that after driving around the track, you can line yourself up just right, use a mushroom, and launch off of these blocks to land on the rock formation to the left of the finish line. This rock formation would then act as a mini version of the whole track. If you simply drove around it,
That didn't kill?
count it as a lap being driven. A couple of different methods of getting on this rock would be discovered. The first was going backwards right as the race began to respawn right behind the blocks you could jump off of. This method wasn't too fast, since you would fall in the lava and getting picked up by Lakitu took a lot of time. So that's where the second method came in. You could boost to your left right as the race began, jump off of the road at a perfect angle, and land on the rock formation straight away. It took less than 10
Yeah,
seconds.
I gotta be
to
careful. I
land
can't be
on
making
the rock.
mistakes like that.
So that meant that people were finishing the course in under 30 seconds. Now, there's something that I haven't mentioned yet. Everything that I just described was discovered on the same day. On that magical day, June 1st, 2008, the world record was lowered 18 times. If you were around playing Mario Kart Wii on that day, you had a realistic chance of snagging a world record for your own. Just a few of those 18 world records have surviving videos. A 1:26 from Alvin from literally minutes after the trick was originally discovered, a 35-second time from Alvin from a few hours later, and a couple of times in the 20-second range from Fujimasa and
Yo, what's going on, GG? Going for another
These
win?
times only stood for a couple
Ideally.
of hours, or even just
We'll
a
see,
few
though.
minutes before being
We got a
lowered to
pretty
something
decent
much
Milothicc
less
here.
that day. At the time of
I'm not very
discovery,
optimistic
the trick was
about
very
it,
poorly
but
understood.
I mean, shoot, if we get the if the luck aligns, then
But the
yeah,
way
we
he
have
drove
a
around it
shot.
had to be strangely precise. He had to go forward past the finish line on the rock to trigger the start of the lap, and you also had to go slightly out of your way to pass over this ridge on the other side. Nobody knew exactly why, but it was theorized that it had to do with invisible checkpoints that you had to cross for a lap to count. All that really mattered, though, was that the trick worked. Years later, small optimizations were found, such as using a mushroom earlier on lap 3, and weaving around the rock at the start to launch up faster. After a battle between King Alex and Niyaki, the record would eventually go under 20 seconds, which is where the record is today, an 18-second time from Nyaki. But let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. As of June 2008, this was the only game-breaking shortcut in Mario Kart Wii. Shortcuts like this that cut out nearly all of the track were rare in most Mario Kart games, with Mario Kart 64 being the only real exception to that rule.
And yeah, I hit it. I was like, whoa!
Grumble Volcano is just an anomaly, but it wouldn't take long until the next one was discovered. Just 3 weeks after Grumble Volcano's trick was found, Mushroom Gorge was broken in a similar way. And this shortcut too is one of the most iconic in any Mario Kart game. The earliest video footage of this trick comes from a Japanese player with the username GreenBean. You start the race, drive forwards a bit, turn around, and boost off of a trampoline mushroom that you could bounce off of. If you angle your vehicle back while in the air, you're then able to ride along the mountainside, go above the finish line, drop down behind it, and cross it to finish a lap. This works because of a bug with the trampoline mushroom. The momentum you have from bouncing off of the mushroom is locked in place unless you specifically hit the ground. If you instead hit a wall, your momentum is still preserved, and if it's angled the right way, like this mountainside just so happens to be, your momentum is converted to allow you to ride up it. Later optimizations for this trick included the cookie strat of dropping down closer to the finish line, using the Quacker because its hitbox lets it turn in different ways while hitting the mountain to maneuver more effectively, using motion controls to get a better range of motion along the mountain, and SamF's discovery that you could stay on the mountain for the entire first lap. But once again, just like with Grumble Volcano, the inner workings of this trick were a mystery. The game should have been able to recognize that a full lap hadn't been driven, and it shouldn't have given you credit for the lap. You just went from in front of the finish line to right behind it. Why was it all possible? That was the question on one guy's mind, Mr. Bean 35000 VR. After theorizing the basics of the checkpoint system and testing it with speed hacks to make him fly farther out
Bro
of
got the triple.
line, Mr. Bean had proven himself to be correct. This is what he figured out. Get ready, everyone. You're about to earn a degree in Mario Kart Wii checkpoints.
Guys, how rare is that? What are... He just got off a quadruple protect. I've never seen that in my entire life. I've never seen that in my entire Pokemon career. I've never seen someone land a quadruple protect. What are the odds of that? One in 100, 729 chance of landing a quadruple protect. Wow. That's insane. I've never seen that in my entire life. That's actually crazy. Wow.
Mario Kart Wii breaks up
Chat, clip that.
series of invisible checkpoints. There's regular checkpoints, key checkpoints, and a starting line. This is a map of Wario's gold mine, with the checkpoints all drawn in. The regular checkpoints are in blue. They're just used so Lakitu knows where to place you if you go off the map. You can pretty much completely ignore these ones. The starting line is here in purple, and the key checkpoints are in red. They are the important ones, since the game wants you to drive through all of these before giving you credit for a lap.
Oh.
The starting line also sort of acts as a key checkpoint, which you'll see in a minute. Each of these isn't actually a line, but a box that extends forward from the line to the next checkpoint. If your cart touches anywhere in the box, then you've reached that checkpoint. The game updates which key checkpoint region you were last in as you drive around the course, which I'll represent with a number up in the corner. If your position is here, for example, this number will be 0. If you then drive across key checkpoint 1, your number will be updated to 1 until you cross another key checkpoint. As I mentioned before, Mario Kart Wii wants you to drive through all key checkpoints before counting a lap, but it doesn't actually keep track of which ones you've driven through. Instead, it uses a couple of rules. Rule number 1. Your key checkpoint region must be updated to the one right before the finish line before you cross it in order for the lap to count. In this case, it must be region number 4. And rule number 2. The only key region checkpoints that are loaded are the region you're in, the one immediately after you, and if you happen to be in the key checkpoint box of the region, then the key checkpoint region immediately behind you will be loaded as well. And for all of the regions that are not loaded, which for region 2 would be region 4 and region 0, the game will simply not update your position when you drive through them. This works pretty well most of the time. For example, if you're in key checkpoint region 2 and do a large skip that goes past region 3 so you never touch it, then when you drive through region 4, your position won't be updated since region 4 is not yet loaded. The number will still be 2. So, when you cross the finish line, because this number is not 4, your lap will not be counted. This leads to a bit of a problem. What if you're in region 0, then go backwards across the finish line, hit checkpoint 4, then drive forwards again? Would the game award you a lap when you cross the finish line forwards once more? No, it wouldn't, because the developers had another system to account for this. The game would subtract a lap from you if you cross the finish line backwards, and automatically put your region at the last key checkpoint. So, when you cross the finish line, you'll simply go right back to the lap you were on. However, the game developers didn't do one crucial thing. One crucial thing that makes every single shortcut in this video possible. The game will only do this lap subtraction process if you go from the box right in front of the finish line directly to the box behind it. So, if you're in region 0 on, let's say, lap number 2, and manage to land somewhere back here without going over the finish line backwards, the game will still believe that you're in region 0 on lap 2. And since you're in region 0, the previous key checkpoint region is loaded, region 4. So you can drive back to hit region 4, cross the finish line, and the lap is counted. This is what's happening on the rock formation in Grumble Volcano. You cross the finish line to be in region 0, then go outside around it to stay in region 0, wrap around the back, then just barely nick the corner of the last key checkpoint region. You're now at the end of the lap as far as the game's concerned. It's the same thing on Mushroom Gorge. You're in front of the finish line in region 0, go back around on the mountainside to avoid hitting the finish line, hit the last region, and you finish the lap. Those were the first 2 ultra shortcuts, both discovered before their inner workings were completely understood. And now, thanks in part to the extensive work done by Mr. Bean to figure out the checkpoint system, there is a 3rd ultra shortcut. The course this time is Wario's Gold Mine. I mentioned before that Mr. Bean had made a proof of concept for a Wario's Gold Mine shortcut, but he used speed hacks to make it work. This video with a very poor frame rate shows where he was aiming. However, in January 2009, his theoretical trick was made a reality. It's unknown exactly who discovered or pulled this off first, but on January 19th, 2009, a bunch of fast times began to pop up on the leaderboard. The first coming from player John13, and the first surviving video coming from DW Fox. It was a simple enough trick, now that we understand how the checkpoint system works. You start in zone 0, boost out of bounds in just the right place to avoid hitting the finish line, and respawn a bit behind the finish line. Your region stays at 0.
Wait, I didn't find this trainer. Oh,
it's a matter of
I
turning
did
around
actually.
to hit
I
region
literally
4,
just fought this trainer.
then driving forward to cross the finish line. A lap could be completed in under 15 seconds. Over the next couple
okay,
of
this
days,
is the last trainer.
players implemented this trick once, and then twice, and then 3 times into their time trials. But on January 21st, 2 days after the original trick's discovery, a player named Sean Tanney discovered a future optimization, the pipe bounce.
Alright, finally got all those routes done. I guess now, I don't know what to do now actually.
Hitting ledges and weird angles.
What do we normally do? I guess we could do the dojo. Yeah, let's go do the dojo. Yo, we're getting Matsu rated. We get the late.
You could fly up way into the
Bah. Let me get your link real quick. Thank you for the raid. I appreciate. Wabong. Waboing. Alright. Welcome in, guys. We're doing some KAIZO IronMon. How goes run? It's going pretty good. It's going pretty good. We just finished clearing that whole entire route, and now we're going to do. What are we doing? We're doing the dojo now. We don't have to do the dojo, but I'm going to do the dojo because why not?
You'd save time by avoiding getting picked up by Lakitu.
I don't really know if we should, but I'm going to. So, it's pretty much just like a mini gym, I guess.
The runner's name was DD Poyo, and the time was.
Shedinja, we got shed coverage. We're good there.
Come down by a few seconds over the following couple of years through slight optimization.
Crunchy crunch, easy.
By Mr. Bean in March 2011.
For the steel, I don't know how good its switch defense is. It's all right. I'll mark it up just because it's. Oh, just because it's, you know, it didn't get one shot by flame wheel, I guess. But this thing is the bane of my existence right here. It's super thick, and I don't have any super effective moves for it.
And unbelievably, even still,
Lucy is also pretty thick. Oh, I should have tested out how much secret power did, but Chalfa Hunter into Gengar acquired. Nice. Oh. So there's 12 alpha Pokemon that can Mega Evolve. That's cool. Never really thought about that, to be honest. That's kind of cool. Okay, glad we can one-shot Relicanth.
Oh. Here we go. Nice. Done. Yes. Holy shit.
Okay. Oh, you burned me.
Fucking hell.
No, so this is not a a gym, so I can technically leave right here. Let me see.
Mr. Bean
my monitor just turned black because of course it did. I want to let me see how, like, what level.
At least until 2018, when a guy simply named
2 level 56s, really?
Twice.
That's crazy.
But keep in mind,
I'll risk it.
Ultra shortcut discoveries go, we're still in 2009, and it's time to talk about
Okay,
another really
easy one shot for the first one.
We've seen
easy one shot for the second one. Awesome.
Riding along a wall.
Kind of risky, but you know. I guess we could see what the mons are. Oh, I wanted to see what they were. Guess not though. All right, let me pull up the guide because I actually don't know what I'm supposed to do now. To be honest.
Coconut Mall does not seem like the type of course.
I'm on FIRERED guide. Here we go.
There's very few open areas that it looks like you could leap across. Instead, walls or other.
Where are we in the game right now?
So to make.
Okay, hideout, Pokemon Tower, Grand Tour, Drine, Erica, Kogo. Dojo. Okay, so I guess we do Erica now then. Oh, okay. I didn't think it was this soon, to be honest, but.
You stop at the bottom of this escalator, which is
yes,
right around the border between key checkpoint regions 1 and 2.
Pause the Cacnea, I don't need it.
Trick off of the ramp.
I am gonna need my other HM on now because.
Invisible wall stops you from going forward.
Oh.
However, Fintail landed the bike's back tire on this.
All right, we gotta fight all the trainers in here.
A wall that's flat on the ground and facing the sky.
So let's do that.
In Mario Kart Wii, horizontal walls have a very strange property. If you touch one of them, you can proceed to clip through walls. It's not known why this happens, but all that matters is that
I'm an American man. This is. Oh, Matsu, guess what? Just a few minutes ago, I fought an Electro that got 4 consecutive protects. I've never seen that in my Pokemon career ever.
So now, it's a matter of careful.
I've never seen someone get a quadruple protect in the history of Pokemon. In my personal experience, anyway.
You then drive around the finish line to stay in Region 0 while behind the finish line. Loop around the parking lot to go over the last.
That is very insane. I looked up the odds. It's 1 in 729. That's like absolutely insane.
Repeating this process of going around the finish line and hitting Region 5 means you could finish the course in well under a minute.
But I had to look up the odds. I'm like, what in the world? I've never seen that before, like ever.
In the first day alone, the world record was lowered 24 times. It included the shortest reign of a world record.
I'm an American man.
At 10:06 p.m.
This is my native land.
Saying that he had lowered the world record to a 126. 32 seconds later, Sword of Seals posted that he had gotten a 119. Sword of Seals was a particularly extreme example of the lengths people went for discovering these new tricks. He apparently stayed up for 72 hours straight once the Coconut Mall Ultra Shortcut was discovered, and lowered the.
Alright, that's every trainer in Erica. Let's do actually Erica this time.
The Sora Zone
Gyarados, one shot,
involved
easy.
dropping down from above
Venomoth,
the horizontal
one
wall.
shot, easy. Level
Months
up,
later,
nice.
an entirely
Ninjask,
different
one shot,
area
easy.
was found. It was earlier in the course,
Hammer up,
and you didn't
one
have to
shot,
stop grinding,
easy.
you just hit this horizontal
Nidoking,
wall.
one shot, easy.
For years,
Flygon,
Hemi would be the runner
one
for
shot,
the
easy.
jungle.
And there we go, there's
But
Erica.
lately,
Full sweep.
the world record
Alright,
has been dominated by
Erica,
Braixen.
give me Ice Beam or well actually yeah, Thunderbolt would be good. Or Tail Glow. Or Calm Mind. Actually, yeah, give me Calm Mind. That's what I want. Give me Calm Mind. Give me Calm Mind or Sight or Extra Sensory. Please, Erica. Give me something good here.
Ghost Valley 2 was the first kid to fall victim to the wall clip, and this is what it looked like. Normally, if you hit a wall at a high speed, you bounce a little bit in the air as your cart slows to 0. However, if you hit the very edge of a wall or another similar surface and get some air beforehand by backing up or doing wheelies, you can get stopped by the wall.
Alright, Koga time.
That bounce you'd normally
Oh,
get.
Jim, anyway.
The result is flying high into the air.
I guess we'll equip the Pecha. No, Cherry. No. No, Cherry. Cherry. Alright. Let's go.
You can see with the checkpoint map that Ghost Valley 2 only has 3 key checkpoints that are drawn in red. You start in Zone 0,
Okay.
and the wall clips.
I don't know why I was like... I was just
You
thinking
drive
for a
through
second there.
Zone 2, which isn't loaded.
Intimidate's fine.
But since you're still in Zone 0, Zone 3
One shot,
is
nice.
loaded. Your
Oregon
original
2
upload
is
drive
really
through it.
thick.
So, because this is the last one before the finish line, the lap will count. It's unknown. who
Okay,
the
first
person was
first
to
mon.
do a wall
First
clip
trainer
in Ghost
down.
Valley 2, but the first person to get a world record with one was
Amon Lee's 57,
Mark.
that's
It
insane.
saved them any time, since just
Thunder Punch
driving
one
down
shots
the
though, okay, good.
start is nearly as fast.
Next
The
trainer.
world record is a 51.319.
Boros, I haven't had problems with in the past.
2015.
And all of a sudden I have problems
Ghost
with it
Valley
because
2
he
was the
outspeeds
only
me.
course that enjoyed the
And
mechanics of the wall clip.
I can't believe he outspeeds me, honestly.
Ultra shortcuts for both
Oh gosh, he lowered my accuracy and he's got 4 Pokemon.
the wall clip. The
This
one on
is
Peach
brutal. What is going on? I only had my accuracy dropped once, dude.
save states to create
Can you knock it off?
runs by Mark in July 2000.
Amon Lee, I should be able to one shot with Flame Wheel.
Hit or go past the arch to activate the next lap and go to
Jeez,
0.
seriously.
Less than halfway through the next
I hate
lap.
it when that crap happens. Accuracy is the worst mechanic in Pokemon.
Real time, but the first person to do it in a run.
It's got Flame Body, but I can't use Secret Power quad resistant.
6 years later, though,
I'm
the
just gonna have to
world
hope it
record
doesn't
holder
activate
once again
and-
breaks in. It was simple enough. Just a
What did
wall
it
clip
use?
farther along the track.
Sky Attack.
Mario Circuit's Ultra Shortcut wasn't.
I have
close.
pretty good defense. I'm gonna
It
go
was
ahead
discovered
and
by Ridley in August 2011. The same person
my-
who
a burn
discovered
heal
the
here.
Rumble Volcano shortcut more than 3 years before.
and just hope he doesn't
He
burn
drove
me
most of
again.
the first lap as normal,
Good.
and then stopped right before the end.
Grumpig, I haven't really had like any experience with
The
it.
last region of the lap. He then carefully
Dragonite's
lined himself
a
up into
problem
wall clip
usually.
on this tree to land on the track below, landing in what should have been region 3.
Okay.
You might think that region 3 should
Go
be
crunch here
loaded when he
again.
drives through,
Okay.
since he was just in region 4.
Level up.
But he
Do I have a
left
citrus or
further
something?
earlier, and if you
No, I do not. Okay.
find the key checkpoint box of the region, then the key checkpoint region immediately behind you will be
All right,
loaded.
next trainer here.
The only way that the key checkpoint behind you loads is if you're in the
Looking
key
for a
checkpoint
weak
box of
mon.
the region.
Okay, he's only used
The
extreme
reason
speed
this
against me.
other
Let's
ultra shortcuts
baby heal
work is
here.
because you began the ultra shortcut starting from the
Roll out's
finishing
fine.
box, which is the key checkpoint box of region 0. So to get region 3 to load, Ridley would need to be back in.
I
this
haven't had any problem with Nidoking. I think Flame
box of
Wheel
region
would one
4.
shot. Okay, good.
Ridley wasn't in the key checkpoint box of region 4. He drove many regular checkpoint boxes forward to do the wall clip.
Nidoking,
region
same
3 was
thing.
completely unloaded,
Flame Wheel.
and as a result, when Ridley drove through the region,
And the
he
nose
finished
pass.
the
We just Thunder Punched to play safe.
the finish line box from above, which is the key
All right, guys, it
checkpoint
is
box of
Koga
region
time.
4,
Wish me
extends
luck.
downward into the tunnel. So when Ridley drove into the tunnel,
Okay, first
the
one's
position
Blastoise. I
updated
think
to
I should be
0
able to one shot with
after
Thunder
the
Punch.
lap. But this wasn't all.
Good.
He was in the key checkpoint.
Altaria, I actually don't know. It's got Poison Point. Let's go for Secret Power here.
So he drove out
Does
of the
half.
tunnel through the unloaded region 3, then drove
Hail's
through the loaded
really
region
bad,
4,
actually.
drove past the finish line, and the game gave him yet another lap. This trick
That's
was
just gonna
an
whittle my
ongoing
health, and
rule
that's
for the
really
following
sucks.
years, as players began doing a wall clip on each lap to avoid
Grass
having to
Missile.
drive
Let's go
around the
Secret
whole
Power
course.
here.
Wall clipping without carefully lining themselves up to save a bit of time.
And this really
and clipping to
sucks.
the other side of the tunnel so they didn't have to turn around.
Magneton,
After
Flame
Mario
Wheel.
Circuit, there was a bit of a lap
Doesn't
loss
one
in
shot.
the
Psywave
sequence.
almost killed
From
me.
mid-2012 through
The hail
mid-2013,
was still going. I think I would have died there.
shortcut was found.
I gotta heal though. I can't risk it. I got an energy root. I got a hyper poke. Oh, that's the same thing though. Heals the same amount of
This
HP.
one is a very bizarre case. The shortcut itself had been known for a very long time. You'd get shot
Yeah, we're
by
gonna
a
have to
cannon,
use our
turn around,
energy root
and
here,
point
unfortunately.
along the course.
I gotta
The issue
play it
was,
safe.
when you crossed
Can't
the
risk
finish
it.
line, the lap wouldn't be counted. When looking at the course map, it's obvious why. Feel free to ignore this garbled mess of checkpoints
Format's
in
fine.
the center. When you land after the cannon shot, you're in key checkpoint region 2. When you do this
Last one is
shortcut, you
Kyogre.
skip
Okay.
ahead to region 7.
Please don't hit yourself, please.
The region right before the finish line, region 9,
Gonna end here.
won't be loaded either. So the game believes that you're in region 2 when you cross the finish line.
Okay, guess
The
not.
lap will not be counted.
Oh yeah, Torment.
After the checkpoint system was figured out, a tool-assisted speedrunner named MYAAA figured out a
Did that
pretty
count, by the way?
You would clear a fence
Okay, I
with
guess I
top
did count as
cover.
Torment. Okay. Well, there goes Koga. We had to use energy root. Sucks, but it is what it is. And he's giving us Team of 6. Please.
To launch through the
Please
battle
give me
zone
a
walls
move that's
and
not
land on the
awful.
track below.
Please, I really appreciate it.
Causes you to skip past key checkpoint 1.
Dude, I always get sucky status moves every single time.
Loaded other than the last
I can only name one time I've ever not gotten a sucky status move from a gym leader. I have the worst gym leader TM luck of all time.
Since you
Literally
the
ever.
last one, the lap will count. Troy was the first runner to do the trick in real time, and it was quickly improved over the
Alright, let's go to
following
the Safari
days.
Zone.
The checkpoint manipulation setup requires 2 mushrooms normally, but it is theoretically possible to do it with just 1. Similarly to the Peach Beach and Mario Circuit skips, it involves using the spear as your bike to get more speed.
That's
and it
Rock
involves
Tunnel, what am I
using a
doing?
wall clip off of the root of a tree
Safari Zone
to
is-
barely make it to the
Where's
track
Safari
below.
Zone?
Humans
Oh,
have
here it
been
is.
able to get a clip from the tree before, but the angle also needs to be just right to make it to
Alright.
the track. Doing this one mushroom
Alright, let's go do the Safari
setup
Zone.
would be enough to set a pretty decent new world record. But as of now, nobody's done it. So the world record is a 157 by Demon. So that's Maple Treeway from September 2012. As I mentioned before, it would be a while before more ultra shortcuts would be discovered. 2012 turned into 2013. 2013 turned into 2014.
Personberry, okay, it's not
2014
useless.
turned into 2015. Players were just working on improving the old shortcut records. But that all changed.
Lemonade, we take those.
This is Blaze.
Max Elixir, we take those.
Speedruns of Mario Kart Wii, and he has a habit of discovering a lot of glitches and shortcuts. From June 28th through July 5th, he made one of the most remarkable discoveries in speedrunning history: 3 new ultra shortcuts. Waluigi Stadium's new ultra shortcut was possible to do in a tool-assisted speedrun, but unless the strategy could
There's
be
no
changed,
reason to
it
go
would
down
never
there.
be done by a
They don't have
human
surf
in a
yet.
real run. Here's why. The start of it is difficult, but definitely not impossible. You have to go right in front of this bump, turn around, and boost to get a ton of airtime. From there, you hit the top of the finish line to pass through the top of an invisible wall that has no hit
Yeah.
detection. This is all incredibly precise, of course, but not impossible. And all it really is a setup for later. You go from region 0 to region 2, leaving the last region loaded so the lap will count later on, similar to hopping over the wall at the start of Maple Treeway. The impossible part involves a trick known as rapid fire hop abuse to pass through the half-pipe slope to farther along the course. It's done by pressing the hop button on every other frame while you approach the half-pipe. As in, you would press hop for 1 frame, let go for 1 frame, then press it for 1 frame, let go, over and over again on your approach. Mario Kart Wii runs at 60 frames per second, so you would need to press the hop button 30 times per second on exactly every other frame for this to work.
Ooh, freshwater, nice.
Humanly impossible.
I'm an American man. This is our native land.
Just barely. At first glance it seems really simple. You wall clip off of the finish line pole, land in the water.
Oh wow, okay, I actually am able to do Safari Zone one shot.
Turn to hit the last key checkpoint and drive forward to complete a lap. What lies beneath the
Alright.
surface, however,
Not
is
useless.
the world
Alright.
decision. You need to clip off.
Can
the
I
finish
leave
pole
before?
here and
Oh yeah,
somewhere
and it can even retire without even
not
having
run
to.
over this section of the blue line.
Alright, cool. Alright, we did Safari Zone.
Box at all or land outside of the
Pull up the
region,
guide
the game
here.
will respawn you right behind or in front of the finish line. If you successfully land in the region without crossing the blue
Good
line,
to, don't forget to. Yeah, okay, yeah, we got Safari Zone.
possible.
This is Safari Zone.
You can only do the shortcut once per race.
Okay, now we
so
need
mushrooms
to
will take
do
you
our
over
surf
100
grind.
rounds in the water.
Surf grind's always fun.
The current world record of
don't know why I said it up and went.
143.133 by Guy did the shortcut on lap
Alright,
3.
first surf grind we're gonna do is the
Blaze's
one.
final discovery was on Donkey Kong
We're gonna
Jump Park.
do Seafoam Islands
When it was
first.
initially found, it was believed to be humanly impossible too. You would drive back when the race began, do a wall clip off of a tree, hit the top of the finish line pole, which acts as a horizontal wall, pass through an invisible wall, and follow the track below.
Man,
The game believes you have to
American man,
behind it,
this
so after you hit
is
the
my
last key checkpoint,
native
the lap
land.
is counted. Getting enough height from the wall clip alone was hard enough, but doing that while landing exactly where you need to on the finish line pole while getting the perfect angle to land in the tunnel, nobody knew if humans could do that. At least, not until Sam, the person to do the Peach Beach skip, became the first person to do the trick in real time about a month after it was discovered, and get a world record with it. Players would later get creative by using a ghost to sit in the exact position you would need to be at to do the wall clip. You could line yourself up with the ghost, and have a much better chance at getting the angle you needed. Danny G would eventually be the first person to get 2 of these in the same race.
Leppa? Okay,
Rixon
that's
would be
pretty
the
good.
first person to get a 3 out of
Let's
3.
get Leppas.
It may not have taken him 26,000 attempts, but it
Ooh,
was still an
Elixir's
incredible
nice.
accomplishment. Brixton has been lowering his own world record ever since. Over the course of 7 years, we've seen ultra shortcuts discovered on 10 different
Right,
tracks,
did that.
but there's still one more track to look at. Fittingly, the last track is Rainbow
Okay,
Road.
now we're gonna go south of Fuchsia City and fight all those trainers.
It's a very strange instance of a trick that only works if you're playing in the online Wi-Fi mode. You start the race in Zone 0, and drive to pick up a fake item box. Placing this next to the railing and driving into it in the right way causes you to tumble over the railing and get picked up by Lakitu. What the game normally does now is pick you up and place you behind the finish line. This wouldn't be a problem because you're going from the checkpoint box right in front of the finish line to the one right behind it. A lap will be subtracted. However, this is where the online Wi-Fi component comes into play. 12 people are normally in an online race. If you're one of the first 6, Lakitu will drop you in the correct checkpoint box. If you're one of the last 6, Lakitu will instead drop you in the box behind it. The lap doesn't get subtracted, so you could turn around, hit the last key checkpoint, and drive forward for a lap skip. And that is every single ultra shortcut in the history of Mario Kart Wii. Except for one. Believe it or not, Rainbow Road actually has a second ultra shortcut. It hasn't been done by a human before, at least not yet, but it's probably going to happen someday. It was discovered relatively recently, March 2016, by Estaloy62. You drive slightly forward, then turn around and hop along the tiny space between the outside of the railing and the track. Believe it or not, getting back here is the easy part. The hard part is getting from here to the track below.
Right,
You must do what's called a stick drift. It's where you drift to the right, then hold the stick back to the left, hop perfectly off the edge of the track, use another mushroom while in the air, and if you do all of that correctly, then you can just barely make it back to the track. If you don't go far enough, you won't go back into key checkpoint region 0, so the last region won't be loaded and the lap won't count. If you do any of these inputs incorrectly and land short of the track, the trick won't work.
Well, obviously, if you play bad, you suck. Like, no dur.
Everything here is impossible.
Doofus.
People have been close to doing it before.
That wasn't
It's not
necessarily
impossible,
aggro.
but it's probably even likely that someday someone will pull off the Rainbow Road Ultra shortcut. There's no big success story yet, but just like all the courses before it, the story of Rainbow Road will be written. The only question is, who's going to be the author?
Your mom.
This has been the history of the Ultra shortcut.
No, it hasn't.
Watching.
Alright, let me put on your summoning cell video real quick. Oh, I turned off YouTube video. You guys haven't been able to see it. Oops, sorry about that. I am an American man. This is my native
If you're given the task
land.
to beat Super Mario Bros. 3 as fast as possible, how would you go about it?
I don't. I
There's this
wouldn't.
thing called Warp Whistle,
Brrrr.
World 1 and used to warp all the way to the last world, World 8. Doing this properly allows you to potentially beat the
Been a lot of
entire game
Kabutops in this file
robot
for some
minutes.
reason. I don't know why.
However, if we're to believe the hundreds of speedrunning experts in the YouTube comment section, then using warp whistles is cheating. So, what about beating Super Mario Bros. 3 as fast as possible without warp whistles?
You just lose. I'm just kidding. I don't think I've ever played through the entirety of Mario Bros. 3. I've gotten to World 8 through via warp whistles, but I never like
The world
actually
record for
like
Super Mario Bros. 3 warpless
beaten it
carries
warp.
with it a reputation
or
for
even
merciless
warp full.
execution
To
and
be
luck.
honest, I don't think I ever got past the
Worlds
second level.
each with a wide variety of levels, enemies, and obstacles that you must know exactly how to speed through. Patience is pushed to the limit as the player loses hundreds, or even thousands of runs to small mistakes or just simple misfortune. While the precision and persistence needed is enough to deter many from trying, some push past it. This is the story of the players who have gone through the challenging yet rewarding journey to obtain the Super Mario Bros. 3 Warpless world record. This is the world record progression of Super Mario Bros. 3 Warpless. Let's go back to 2010. That January, the first ever Games Done Quick event was held. Classic Games Done Quick.
What? What was that?
Oh, sped me.
This event would later turn into Awesome Games Done Quick, the annual charity speedrunning marathon that raises millions of dollars. Now, the reason I bring this up is because the earliest known warpless speedrun of Super Mario Bros. 3 with video was played at this event. The runner's name was Freddie Anderson.
Not enter Cinnabar.
World record at this point as well.
Do not
This
enter
run won't
from
be
the
covered in
Cinnabar
great
side.
detail, but the most important concept to understand about it is the P meter. Super Mario Bros. 3 essentially revolves around the P
Right.
meter. When Mario is running
Let's
on
do
ground,
this
meter
area.
starts to fill up, and when he's in the air, it decreases.
All items in here.
When it's
Right.
filled all the way, Mario's running speed drastically increases to a speed called P speed. Runners struggle to figure out ways to build up P speed in as many levels as possible. You have to run on the ground for as long as you can.
Chesto, nice. We take
strategically
those.
Slow down and speed up in certain places, and time your jumps just right. Anderson didn't have the strategies needed to build up the P meter effectively throughout the game, and as a result, he spent much of the time either walking or running without P speed.
You're so mean.
For example, this
Simona.
is Anderson's playthrough of 3-2. He's never able to build up the P meter at the start of the level, and instead has to slowly leap his way across the water and the blocks above it. In a modern speedrun,
The Mona Lisa
waiting
sucks.
and running on each platform. The P speed earned from this lets the player fly through the level without even touching the water. Anderson's lack of P speed, on top of a few deaths, helped result in a time of around an hour and 3 minutes.
I'm an
While it was a
American
solid enough
man.
run, it wasn't held to
This
the same level
is
of
my
optimization as
native
other speedrunners at
land.
the time. It's possible that Anderson himself had a faster run. His quick run appears to be the only one with surviving video. Regardless, one guy thought he had what it took to beat his time. Mitch Flower Power. Mitch began doing warpless speedruns in 2010 with a specific goal in mind. He wanted to beat Anderson's run and get it published on
I didn't get
Speed
strength.
Archive. Speed Demo's archive was more or less the center of speedrunning back then. Runners would submit high-quality recordings of their world record speedruns, and after they were verified, they would be posted on the site for the world to see. In 2010,
Missing out on
Mitch
2
was able
items.
to beat Anderson's time with a 59-minute run. But it was ultimately rejected from Speed Demo's archive, not because it was cheated or anything like that, but because the verifiers felt that it just wasn't good enough. As Andrew G would say,
It's too slow!
that was one other component of Speed Demo's archive. Your run needed to
Okay,
look
you don't
visually
need.
impressive.
Thankfully, you don't need strength in order to
While
get the
normal
items.
runs looked great to a normal viewer, Speed Demo's archive verifiers were used to watching a higher level of gameplay. So, they told Mitch to come back and do it again faster. And that's exactly what he did. On September 21st, 2010, Mitch completed a run that would be verified on Speed Demo's archive a few months later. The time was 55 minutes and 47 seconds.
Power
Let's
plant.
take a look. The 8 worlds in Super Mario Bros. 3
Fuchsia
each offer a new
City.
set of challenges that the player must overcome.
A pallet
As Mitch
town.
made his way through World 1, you can see his expertise of controlling the P meter.
And then we do the
He
mansion.
would run
Okay.
on ledges, just barely fill it up all the way,
Ah,
and then have
Spring
P
City.
shoot through the air. As important as
to
the levels
pallet
are,
town.
however, there's another
I always feel
incredibly
like I screwed that
important
up.
part to Mario 3 speedruns, the Overworld Hammer Brothers. These guys move from space to space after you complete a level or die. If you run into them, you fight them to pick up
It
whatever
levels
item
up.
they have.
Dice.
Sometimes, like here in World 1, you have no choice but to fight the bro and are forced to pick up this.
The bro.
And then there's situations like World 2. There's 2 Hammer Brothers here. One of them has a music box, which stops Hammer Bros from moving across the map for a bit, and one of them has a hammer, which is used to break blocks on the overworld map to skip playing certain levels. Since you don't necessarily need to pick up the music box here, it can be ideal to avoid fighting this Hammer Brother by navigating around him on the map, because each additional Hammer Bro fight takes 10 to 15 seconds. However, sometimes Mitch couldn't tell which Hammer Bro was which.
I knew
His
it.
way regardless.
And I had a cherry berry and I just wasted it because I'm an idiot and I always forget to take off my berries.
Corner. Since Mitch moved around the bottom of the map,
Why do I always forget to take off my berries?
the hammer and finish the
Ah.
World 3
Every
through 5
freaking
can be
time, dude.
summarized as fighting some Hammer Brothers, skipping others, and flying through levels as much as you can. With all the overworld action, it's sometimes hard to appreciate the crazy skill that goes into the levels themselves. Although some parts were slower than optimal, the ability to build up piece speed while trying to avoid touching any enemies is remarkable. Since Mitch did most of this run as Small Mario, touching any enemy would have killed him. World 6 featured a bit of a strange moment. Mitch was flying through the world as normal, and then suddenly turned around and backtracked all the way to the mushroom house to pick up a hammer suit. You might think that this had something to do with manipulating the RNG, or it saved him time somehow, but no, he just forgot to pick it up initially and had to go back and get it. World 7 features a bit of everything. Mitch had been fighting several Hammer Brothers in the previous worlds to pick up items like P-Wings to fly over levels, Clouds to skip levels, and even the occasional Invincibility Star. He used a bunch of these items here in World 7 to skip his way through many of the levels. And finally, there's World 8. Most of it is actually on the tame side. There's several auto-scrolling levels where you simply have to wait for the screen to move to the end of the stage. But eventually, Mitch came to the hands. These 5 boxes on the overworld map,
Bro,
specifically
stay.
these 3, make up the hands in World 8. When Mario moves over one, there's a 50-50 chance that a hand will appear and pull him down into a 15 to 20 second stage that must be beaten. Given that there's 3 chances for a hand to pull you
Go
down,
back. There's too many trainers
this
still
means that
to get through in
99%
order
of
for me
the
to.
time, you'll be able to pass
There, I
without
can't risk
getting
running into
pulled down
another
at all.
trainer.
It's called getting no hands. Working out the probabilities, you'll find that 3/8 of the time, you'll get 1 hand, losing 15 to 20 seconds, and 3/8 of the time, you'll get 2 hands, losing 35 to 40 seconds. And of course, another 1/8 of the time, you'll get all 3 hands and lose around a minute.
Bro, uses assist when he has 1v1. What a
Lost some
doofus.
time, but since it was at the very end of an hour-long run, he really didn't mind all that much. After a few more tricky stages and a couple of auto-scrollers, Mitch had made it to the last level. The fight with Bowser normally involves waiting for him to jump and break the blocks below. This takes quite a bit of time, but remember that hammer suit?
I am an American man.
Hammers do an
This
incredible amount of
is my
damage to the
native
It turned a
land.
fight that would have dragged on and on into this. All in all, this was quite an impressive run for the time. Impressive enough that Speed Demo's Archive decided to publish it on their website. Mitch didn't die a single time and showed off some really fast strategies. It's also worth noting that instead of playing on an actual NES, Mitch played on the Wii Virtual Console port of Super Mario Bros. 3. Just keep that in mind for later.
Actually, before we do the mansion, let's do the trainers off to the side here.
The fact that Super Mario Bros. 3 Warpless was a brutal category.
I always forget to do that first.
Could add dozens of seconds onto your run from bad luck alone.
It's just a good idea.
Speed strategies in level after level of an hour-long run. It was intimidating to try running it, and very few people did back then. Mitch would end up playing the category some more a year later, and ended up beating his own record by about 45 seconds. There's not too much that was different about it. The improvements can be generalized into Mitch simply getting better at the game over that period of time. There were fewer mistakes overall, and the run was slightly smoother. What these two runs essentially did, however, was establish Mitch as the top runner of Super Mario Bros. 3 Warpless. A couple of months then passed. We're in early 2012, which is when a website called Speedruns Live was in its heyday. Speedruns Live was the headquarters of speedrun races. 2 or more players could connect to a server and have a race room keep track of the total time as they raced to beat their game as fast as possible. On March 29th, 2012, 2 players joined a race room for Super Mario Bros. 3 to do a warpless race. The first was Karua. He was a Mario 3 speedrunner from France with a personal best not far from Mitch's world record. The second racer was Black Hasu. He was a Mario 3 speedrunner from Japan, and it's very hard to find information about him today. Black Hasu was live streaming his side of the race so anybody could watch. The runners began their race, and even though Black Hasu was playing on the Famicom version, which had slower transitions between levels, he pulled ahead early on. By the time the runners were in World 3, Karua decided to just forfeit the race and watch Black Hasu's run from his live stream. What would then occur over the better part of the next hour was remarkable. Black Hasu would finish the run with an end time of 54:46, a new world record. The only problem is that the video for this run doesn't seem to exist anywhere today. People were watching this run as it was being played live, including Karua, so we do know that it happened.
All right, now we should go do.
The only evidence we
the
have now,
mansion.
however, is the Speedrun's live race results page, which shows a race from March 29th, 2012, with Karua finishing in second place with a forfeit, and Black Hasu winning with a time of 54:46. Accounts from runners who saw this run describe a more modern approach to the run as a whole. Mitch's 55-minute runs treated each level as an individual level, where the goal is to simply beat each one as fast as possible. This usually involved just staying a small Mario. Black Hasu, on the other hand, backed up to look at the game as a whole. He decided to pick up the Fire Flower more often. Now, he did have to slow down to pick it up, but it definitely had its benefits. It let him save 4 seconds on each of the Boom Boom fights throughout the game by killing them with fire, as well as letting him use fire in the other levels to clear enemies and ultimately get through them faster. Of course, since the video for this run doesn't exist,
I have a
people
paralysis
aren't able
heal.
to see these strats in action until the next world record. Karua's 54:34 from May 2012, an improvement of 12 seconds. He picked up fire in World 1, which he tried to hold on to as long as he could. Of course, the Fire Flower route was still really new here, so there definitely were
Gotta
a few
use
rough
that
patches.
on the
He
next
got
trainer, I
hit and
guess.
lost fire in 3-9, 4-6, and 5-7, and had to pick the Fire Flower back up as soon as he could each time. He also died in World 6, and instead of getting right back into the level, he just sat there in the overworld. Yeah, he thought the run was dead, but decided to just keep going for the heck of it. Karua was also able to show off a pretty fast 7-1 clip. Instead of playing through 7-1 as normal, which is a pretty long stage, it's possible to clip in dealing right at the start of the level and skip straight to the end. Now,
Actually, no, I think I'll try to save my paralysis heal.
Location, but your subpixel position also needs to be just right for the clip to even have a chance of working. Subpixels define Mario's position on a scale smaller than the pixel, and it's not usually possible to control them. Karua was able to get it on his 3rd try, which was pretty good considering that the
Very nice.
video footage, Mitch's 55:04, took 6 tries. And then, after getting no hands in World 8, Karua closed out a run 12 seconds faster than Black Hasu's lost record. All in all, while there were many unpolished sections, the use of Fire Flower throughout the run significantly helped. The key word here was potential. The Fire Flower strats had potential. How far would people be able to take them?
4-star!
Mitch decided to test
Nice!
less than a month later.
You'll love to see that crap!
3 weeks after Karua's world record, Mitch fired right back with a 40-second improvement, a time of 53:53. While Mitch too was using the fire strats, his methodology was slightly different. Karua's strategy was to pick up fire and then hold on to it as long as he could. Mitch's strategy was to pick up items and then intentionally lose them to damage boost through specific sections. He did this repeatedly throughout the run. Fancier P-speed strategies, especially in World 7, helped him gain more time over Karua. In 7-3, for example, he would run right up to an enemy or ledge, pixels away from getting hit or falling off. It's exactly what he needed to build up P-speed each time. By this point, in late 2012, a friendly rivalry between Mitch and Karua had developed. These guys traded the world record back and forth multiple times throughout 2012. The next 4 world records, however, would all be obtained by Karua. Over the course of about 6 months, Karua would take the world record from a 53 down to a 53.
I'm gonna go back down. Make sure I got that item.
The improvement was the fire kill on Bowser. Picking up the hammer suit in World 6.
I didn't mark it down, so I just want to make sure.
Bowser used to be the strategy, because
okay, I didn't.
Just 4 hammers was much faster than having to spam him with more than 30.
Going crazy, y'all.
However, because you have to go.
Freaky on a Friday night. My name is going right.
You end up gaining several seconds from just hanging on to fire.
I am an American man. This is my native land.
A valuable item.
Oh, it's fast.
Karua switched to an invincibility star, which he had sitting in his inventory.
Next to a girl.
Important part of these 4 runs is that
I have to use the paralysis here.
Karua got what's known as the
I missed the sandstream.
Early hammer results from a series of incredibly lucky events in the world.
That's fine. It's whatever.
This is a diagram of
Carbos. Okay.
There are 2 hammer players. One starts here and has a music box.
Completely freaking useless, but
The second one starts here and has a hammer, which can break down these barriers to help you move to get to new areas on the map sooner. Hammer Brothers move one space after each level you complete or die in, and the direction they move is random.
Oh,
If
you!
they move on top of a level, or on top of another Hammer Brother, then they'll move in a
You
different
suck,
time until they
Groudon.
reach an open spot on the map. Normally this works out just fine. The player will move through 2-1, 2-2,
Here, skip this trainer.
the fortress, up
Just
past
for now.
2-3, through the sun level,
So we can-
either up past 2-4 or down past 2-5, and then the pyramid level, before finally
items.
reaching the ending airship. The player picks up the hammer somewhere in this rectangle on the map. And the
Alright, let's
hammer is
fight
then
this
used
trainer and
to
YOLO it.
break this barrier
It's only
inside
2
this
mons.
fortress. Keep in mind though, the direction the Hammer Brother moves after each level is random. So theoretically, this exact
Alright, we're
series
good.
of moves could
Full
happen.
clear.
He moves up here after 2-1, up here after 2-2, over and across 2-4 after the fortress since he can't stop on the level itself, and then down and to the left after 2-3. Instead of reaching him
Alright, let me
somewhere
pull up the
else
guy.
directly,
Let's see what we're doing
you reach him
now.
on this space, which is before the sun level. So, you could collect the hammer here, go down here and break the block with it, and then skip both the sun level and 2-5. Unfortunately,
Okay, we're gonna do
the
Blaine first because we're a special attacker and our special defense.
reach him after 2-3 or around 5%. If everything does work, you end up gaining around 45 seconds from skipping the 2 levels. But keep
Yeah,
in
the
mind,
extra special defense is good too. Yeah, we're gonna do
so
we're gonna do
if you
Blaine.
break the block and skip the fortress, and you lose
And the last runner I had died at Blaine, so
Pretty nice net gain of 15
I'm not
seconds
nervous you
overall
are.
if you're lucky enough to get it. But this was only scratching the surface
Where
of the potential of early
where's Blaine's gym
Hammer.
on
Mitch's
this?
next world record, a 52-59, would demonstrate an
Oh, here it is.
player. Since the Hammer Brothers are usually off screen,
Alright, Blaine gym time. Let's see what berries we got. We got a good amount of berries. Let's equip the chesto, just because that's the most amount of berries. Or that's what berry we have the most. Alright.
He would repeatedly die in 2-3 to try to get the Hammer Brother to come across. So
First
you could
mon.
ultimately avoid playing the level and instead get an early
Rum
Hammer that
pig.
skipped 3 levels instead of just 2. He'd just force the Hammer Brother
Big
to
down.
move and hope that he moved in the right
Venomoth. I haven't had a problem with in the past.
Getting
I'm not
him to
having a
come
problem with it
over
now.
just 1 death or a
Marowak.
1 early Hammer
I haven't marked
saves well
anything
over
on it.
the
Let's just
roll
use crunch, play it
saving
safe.
the player over half a minute overall.
Yeah, see, that
But
sucks.
sometimes it could take a few
I
seconds.
freaking knew you were gonna do that! I knew it!
Hammer's been calculated about 1 to 2% less.
I hate you.
End up losing as much time as the
I don't know if I have a
saves
burn
when
heal or
it
not.
reset. This
I have a
created
Ross,
bit
but
of
I'm
a
not gonna-
ideological divide between the
I'm just
top
gonna
two
lava
members of
cookie
the
him.
game, Mitch and Karua. Mitch had the world
I think
record
I had a
for
burn heal and I
59,
used it.
and he had a habit of getting a ton of runs to World
Let's
2
not
and
pull any
trying to
crap
get
this time.
early Hammer. He
Please.
obviously lost a ton of runs here,
Thank you.
but would occasionally get one on a super good pace as a result.
Freaking 10%, dude. That makes me so mad.
Wasn't a huge fan of dying for an early Hammer, and instead just took as many runs as he could past World 2. If he happened to run into the Hammer Bro after 2-3, then he took it, but it usually didn't save as much time as when Mitch would get it before 2-3. So, which strategy
I hate this freaking game. I literally freaking hate this game with every fiber of my being, dude. What the frick?
Seconds without early
2 burns? 2 10% chance burns? Are you kidding me right now, game? Really?
Part of it was by cleaning up mistakes from Mitch's run.
Really?
Mitch lost fire in World 4 of his run and couldn't pick it back up until close to the end of World 5. So he lost a bunch of time from not having
Don't hit
fun
yourself.
with boom fights and having to use slower strategies in other stages.
2 freaking 10% chance burns. This game's bullcrap.
World 4 and got the 7-1 clip in 5 tries versus Mitch's 8. These time saves added up to just a bit more than the approximately 40 seconds that Mitch's 1 death early Hammer saved. And since both runners got 1 hand in World 8, Karua was able to finish just 2 seconds ahead of Mitch with the 52-57. Since Karua was able to get so many more runs past World 2, he had more opportunity to get cleaner runs with smoother later
I should have
runs.
went there and punch. I'm an idiot.
Just 2 weeks
Didn't
later,
matter.
though, Mitch was able to beat Karua back. He didn't have the chance to get early Hammer this run, but he made up a bunch of time elsewhere. As you can see by his splits, he fell over a minute behind his early Hammer record after World 2, but made up more than half of it in World 4 because he didn't have to play the Fortress. He made up more time in World 5 because he was able to hold on to Fire Mario, then pulled ahead after a very
I
strong
love that.
World 7.
I'm minus 1.5 after World 7. Like a green split.
World 8 was more of the same, cleaning up mistakes.
Never
from
had a
the
problem with
previous run,
Aritos.
and then getting no hands. A
And I'm not gonna have a
52
problem with him now.
without early Hammer. Mitch sums it up best.
Beat my PB by 30.
But wait a second. Remember how I mentioned before that Mitch and
I have had a problem with Tauros in the past.
console? Remember how I said to keep it in mind for later?
I'm not having one.
Not long after
Problem with him today.
2223, runners discovered that playing on the virtual console version of Super Mario Bros. 3 was actually
More trainer and then
about
his playing
15
time.
seconds in each run. See, Wii Virtual Console games actually run about 0.5% slower than NES games. It's not really noticeable when playing the game normally, but over the course of an hour-long speedrun, the time adds up drastically. So, Mitch switched to playing on an NES.
Alright, Blaine time.
Doing more warpless runs, this time with a 15-second advantage.
Let's do it.
February 19th, 2014.
Hey Blaine, let's play nice.
Mitch was doing Super Mario Bros. 3 warpless
Starting off with the Wailord.
Get a 2-death early
I
hammer.
prefer you not get a torment off on me, so I'm gonna hopefully one-shot here.
Hammer is less
I
than
don't.
10%.
Slam's fine, didn't paralyze.
Opportunity for Mitch.
He's gonna heal here.
He was
No, he didn't. Okay, that's fine though.
after World 2.
Look at that.
Ideally, I have not had a problem with.
As always with early hammer, time was lost in World 4 because of having to play the fortress.
I have a problem with it here.
He just
He's gonna
kept
heal
playing
here,
the
for
story.
sure.
This was turning into a really nice.
I haven't marked it down in defense. Okay, but it
He was over half a minute ahead.
was on like 1
The
HP.
biggest obstacle in World 7 was right.
The
at
Beautiful
start.
Eye, I haven't had a problem with. Okay, Muck, I have kind of had a problem with. It does about half. Okay, Mist is completely fine with me. I'm completely fine with that.
Come on. That's fucking bullshit, man. I've wasted so much time there.
10 tries.
Okay.
It hurt.
I don't know if that crit mattered.
The rest of the world was great.
And then last one's a Volbeat. Just Thunder Punch here.
Oh, I don't know.
Alright, we beat Blaine.
What's going on?
Oh crap.
So,
We beat Blaine. Oh boy. We beat Blaine, guys.
hands.
We beat Balane.
Any chance at the record, but getting 2 hands or better would make it possible. 46 minutes into the run, it was all
Alright.
coming down to this.
Give me good TM. I'm not expecting. You're gonna give. Okay, I'm predicting you're gonna give me
Oh my god.
Rain Dance. I didn't see what it was.
What? Early hammer.
What was it?
Okay, everyone be quiet. Everyone's gotta be quiet. Y'all gotta be quiet. Shh.
Okay, well it doesn't matter what it was because none of these are good. So
I got it. I think I got it. Oh my god, I got it.
but we beat Blaine.
I got it. Yes. You can't beat this run. I'm
Cap.
sorry.
Cap.
You can't beat that.
Cap.
Oh my god. Kitty, do you understand what just happened?
All right. Now we do Silphco.
Look at the splits, dude. Like you can't.
Oh,
beat
yay!
it.
Silphco's always
There's
fun.
nothing you can do.
Well, Mitch said it himself. You could not beat this run. Mitch and Karua had battled for years, but this run was the ultimate one. Early hammer, no hands. Multiplying the odds of those 2 tricks alone, we're looking at no better than 1 in 400 odds of getting a run this good. And that, of course, doesn't factor in the odds in getting good luck with all of the Hammer Brothers, and all the execution you must nail in each stage of the game. And that's why it stood, and stood, and stood. For 1 month. 32 days later,
Excuse me. All right, we got Silphco. Wish me luck.
Hammer by a runner that was neither Karua nor Mitch.
First things first, we gotta get. We're gonna go to floor 5 and get the
Exactly
floor
1
key.
second. How did he do it?
Or do anything else.
Well, the most important thing to realize is that Mitch's run really wasn't all that perfect. He was excited in the moment, which is why he said it was unbeatable. But, for example, the 10th try clip in 7-1 sent him back 20
We absolutely have to
seconds
fight this
outside
trainer.
Lex's first try clip. That right there nearly
world
eliminated
happened
the
there?
advantage gained from early hammer. He also got some sketchy Hammer Brother movements, which ultimately led to a couple of extra Hammer Brother fights.
He's gotta move back up. Please move back up. What a son of a bitch.
Improving sections like that led to outside Lutz and Karua 5 months later, both improving Mitch's run by a few
Got the
seconds
card
without
key.
the early hammer. But in May of 2015, Mitch blew them out of the water once more with an amazing 51-28, once again without early hammer. One notable improvement from this run was the reintroduction of the hammer suit into the route. Mitch figured out that by picking it up in stage 7-8,
Alright, I don't remember floor this. I think it's floor 8.
level,
No.
you could then
Floor 9?
use to kill Bowser quickly at
Floor
the end
6.
and
Floor
potentially
7.
pick up a
Floor
couple
7.
seconds over the fire flower.
Go ahead and mark off
This
the
was very
rival.
difficult to do fast enough to save any time at all, so certain runners opted to
Oh, you
the whole way.
suck so bad.
This run, and was able to get the first Warpless world record in the year 2015.
Much of a choice.
Speaking of 2015,
Jump kick's
that
fine.
was the year that another Warpless runner began to threaten the world record, Cujo. Cujo played several different categories of Super Mario Bros. 3
Emotes
throughout
fine.
2014 and 2015. His Warpless personal best got lower and lower. 54 minutes, 53 minutes, then 52 minutes, and he slowly turned into a world record contender. Cujo eventually began doing Warpless
Cujo!
but he had one problem. His hand luck in World 8 was just awful. He eventually started highlighting and listing all the world record pace runs he had that died to bad hand luck at the very end. The number reached 18, before finally, one day, it happened.
Holy shit.
All he had to do now was lock down and focus. He just had to not get hit by anything and make it to the end. And...
Alright, now we're gonna go through all the floors and get all the items that we can get without fighting any trainers.
Oh my god.
the run died because he got hit in the very last auto-scroller before Bowser. Thankfully for Cujo though, a few months later, he would get another chance after a run with first try 7-1 clip. The hands were nice to him, and Cujo was finally able to get his first Warpless world record.
Fucking world record!
Cujo's run only beat the world record by 1 second, but it would stand a lot longer than Mitch's record. Mitch's 51.28 stood for 4 months, from May 2015 to September 2015. Cujo beat it that September, and entering the year 2017, his 51.27 was still the world record. However, in early 2017, Kurua decided to come back to speedrunning Super Mario Bros. 3 Warpless. Kurua hadn't achieved a Warpless world record since 2014, but he had a goal he wanted to accomplish. Not only did he want to beat Cujo's 51.27, but he wanted to take it a step further. He wanted a 50-minute time. That would require taking nearly half a minute off the world record. Could that be
I
done?
always end up finding that
The
trainer.
potential was definitely there, but Kurua wanted some more help to get it. So, he went into the lab to figure out different routes he could take to save some more time. The biggest thing he
Please one
decided
shot.
was to finally
Thank
start using
you.
the 7-9 clips. The old route at the end of World 7 was to use the cloud to skip over stage 7-9 straight to
You're
the
done to
end.
floor 2 in terms of
This
items.
is because 7-9 is normally a super slow stage. You've got to go up, down, left,
Alright,
and
floor
right,
3.
all the way through this maze-like level. The new route Kurua used was a bit different. He was not going to use the
Go
cloud
for
for
floor
7-9,
3.
and instead use it in the World 8 Fortress.
We're gonna go to floor 5 here real quick.
7-9, and in order to make it fast enough to make it worth it, he had to use these clips into the walls. There were two different routes of doing these clips. A 4-clip route that saved up to 16 seconds, and a 2-clip route that saved up to 8
Full
seconds.
heal, nice,
You
we
could
take
also pick up
those.
a fire flower if you needed
Got an
it.
item up here.
Keep in mind, each of these clips required both a pixel-perfect jump and lucky sub-pixel positioning. Each of these clip costs about 4 seconds. Given
Now
that
ready for
runners
floor
can sometimes
4.
spend a dozen tries on a clip, this was
I mean, it's only got
really
3 level 42s. I'll take
he
him.
would need to get the 2 clips in 4 total tries to break even, or the 4 clips in 8 tries. But in February 2017, Kurua had to run 17 seconds ahead of his personal best in the World 7. When he came to 7-9, he decided to go for the clips, but was only going to do the 2-clip version because he needed to pick up a fire flower. And the clips didn't go too well. It
Alright,
took him 5 tries
floor
to get
4.
the 2 clips, ending with a net loss of 4 seconds. This run, however, would go on to get no hands in World 8 and be a new world record of 51.20, 21 seconds away from his goal. A month and a half later, Kurua was on a run that was very close after World 7.
You wanna go down here
The
for this
7-9
trainer?
clips hadn't done him any favors. It took him 8 tries to get the
3
4
items here.
clips, meaning he broke even.
Wow, 2 big mushrooms right next to each other? That's insane.
World 8 if everything went perfectly.
Milk.
And then, in the last level,
Alright, next is floor 5.
this clip normally was much easier than the other clips. You had to get into the gap as Big Mario, then get ejected out of the wall to the other side. But he missed the first
Four-stor.
time and had to wait 7
Nice.
seconds doing
I
it.
always end up fighting this trainer,
Big deal, right?
like every single time. So it'll be a miracle if I don't have to. Wow, okay, I actually didn't have to fight them this time. I always like run into them.
Tied world record. Well, shoot. It was okay though. Just 3 days later, Karua got a run with a post 2-3 early hammer.
All right,
The tape
next
that skips
is
2
we just did
levels
floor
takes 15 seconds
5.
overall.
Okay, next is floor
Bad hammer luck
6.
in the middle worlds forced him to use a fancy strategy that he had developed in 6-10 to pick up fire and skip having to use a P-wing in 6-9. The 7-9 clip started off poorly, with the first clip coming 3rd try. But then, six tries overall, meaning a net gain of 8 seconds for Karua.
Spear bear, nice.
He then got a hand in World 8, but the time buffer he had still allowed for a 51-30.
Alright, that's all the items. Floor 6.
14 seconds from his goal. Including this
Floor
world
7.
record, Karua then had a streak of 20 runs that made it to World 8 on
Item
record pace and
here.
got at least one hand. He didn't
Citrus,
highlight them
nice,
like
okay.
Kujo did, but it did lead to a couple of months without any new records. And then came June 6th, 2017.
No other. No, there's one item on
It
this.
started off like any other run. He fell behind against his early hammer run, and then made up most of the time in World 4. And then, in the World 6 Fortress, he clipped into the ground. If he was a pixel too low, he would have hit the spikes below.
Alright, next is
If the pixels
floor
too high, he would have just landed
8.
normally.
Next is
Clicking like this, however, skipped the room before the boss and ejected him right where he needed to.
Okay,
be,
floor 8.
saving
There's a
7
couple
seconds.
items over
World 6
here.
ended being a gold split. It was the fastest Karua had ever completed World 6. He was ahead of the world record.
Go to pop.
Then he had this happen in 7-1. And then he had this happen in 7-9.
Okay, now we gotta go floor 9. Floor 9
Then he went into World 8.
is stranger in here, which we have to fight. Quote unquote, have to.
After months of grinding for a 50, Karua was on sub 51 pace after the hands for the first time ever. A few stages later, his journey finally came to an end. The first 50 in Super Mario Bros. 3 Warpless history. Karua had accomplished his goal.
I don't know why I didn't go for
He
Thunder
started
Punch
by
there.
beating Black Hasu back in 2012 with
Totally
a
goofed.
434, and culminated with a 50-57.
But thankfully I didn't have to pay the price for it.
Not long after this run, Karua retired from speed.
Max Potion! Ooh, mama!
Someday. But regardless, his legacy from Super Mario Bros. 3 speedrun.
Love to see that crap, man. You love to see that crap.
The world record in every category, and developing a long-lasting rivalry with Mitch, the only other runner to consistently match his level of play. But Mitch wasn't done yet.
Okay,
He
what
wanted to
floor are
get
we
the
on
world
again?
record
Floor
back.
9. Okay.
Getting another sub 51 wasn't going to be easy, so he decided to do attempts every single
Makes
day
sense,
starting
yeah.
in January 2018 until he broke the record.
Alright, that's all the items there.
Since
Now
he
we
was
got a
Mitch,
floor
he
10
was
and
going to
floor
grind for
11.
the hammer. He wanted the time save. He lost run after run in World 2 as he grinded for early hammer, but he did eventually see results. In March, he got his first personal best in almost a year with a 51.02.
There's one quote unquote force trainer here.
Close. So close, man.
He was headed on the right
I have a lot of crunches.
just a few seconds away from Karua's world record. It was inevitable that the record would be his soon. But nobody expected the run that would come on March 24th, 2018.
Alright, and then there's just one more item, and it's on floor 11.
Oh my god, dude.
Potion? It's something.
For RTA runners,
Alright.
it saves no time.
It's time to start fighting trainers. So we're gonna start from top floor down.
Compare against his 51.02,
Why not?
and the splits on the right compare against Karua's world record. He had a very smooth World 3 and World 4. A gold split in World 5.
That's so dumb. That's such a dumb time save.
After World 6, he was 16 seconds ahead of Karua's world record. Then came the 7-1 clip.
I feel more humble than Dikembe Mutombo after a stumble left him covered in a big pot of gumbo, I guess.
Ridiculous.
He was so far ahead of Karua at this point that since he had the hammer suit, he decided to avoid messing with the 7-9 clip.
Of course, he has good defense and he has rough
he
skin.
went back to the old strategy,
Really annoying.
using the Cloud to skip 7-9 and instead playing the Fortress in World 8.
Alright, there's only one trainer who didn't fight on this floor.
He was 43 seconds ahead after World 7.
People say I'm so unpretentious for a genius. I got 'em all, and I get 'em all, but I never fall, beat 'em all, cause you know I'm so humble.
Karua did not. He was going to gain 9 or 10 seconds back from being able
They
to
say that I'm a 10, but I'm a native best, plus 2 says you, not me, cause I'm so humble.
43. And that was a ridiculous pace. But he needed to play really well. And on this run more than any other, he needed to get no hands.
What? Said I'm a 10, but I'm a native best, plus 2 says you, not me, cause I'm so humble.
Stages. He went through 8-1, and then he entered 8-2.
Okay, there's only one more trainer. And it's whoop, there it is. I feel more humble than Dikembe Mutombo after a stumble left him covered in a big pot of gumbo, I guess.
This shot right here is supposed to take out the sun. It missed by pixels. After getting a bad pattern from the sun after that, it ended
I
up being
feel more humble than Dikembe Mutombo
Then he
after
again
a
got
stumble.
over Karua
I'm
with
covered
that
in a big pot
He
of
was
gumbo.
ahead. It was going to be close.
Weakness. People say I'm so unpretentious for a genius. I got it all.
Did I? I don't think I did it. I did it.
Use our ether on secret power here.
I did it. Oh my
Dig? Okay. I guess I'll go ahead and take advantage of that and use a something here.
50-55. That
I guess I use my baby potion.
today. But I can guarantee that's not where it's going to stand in the future.
I feel more humble than Dikembe Mutombo after a stumble left him covered in a big pot of gumbo.
After his 50-55, Mitch discovered possibly the most revolutionary trick that Mario 3 Warpless has ever seen. It's possible to manipulate the game into giving you an early hammer every single run.
Stop the cat. Okay.
Getting an early hammer is determined by where the Hammer Brothers moved after each level. The game determines which direction...
Umbry, your mom. Y'all get it, guys?
For example,
Ooh, Umbreon's
if you
thick
ended on
and you got
frame
poison.
6523, this guy will move up. But if you ended a frame later, he'll move a different direction.
I have a
instead.
Pecha.
It's possible to
Do I have
actually...
no, I have an antidote somewhere here.
After every level. They move toward each other, then get caught on top of each other and can't separate
Where is it?
each other across stage.
No, I was about to say, I know I have antidotes.
So, what Mitch did was...
Oh,
create
you
tools
suck.
to
Okay, he didn't do that much, thankfully.
Save states, slow down, and other tools to let him end level.
But yeah, you got high defeats. I can't screw with
This
you.
tool-assisted speedrun ends each level in World 2 on the frame necessary for the Hammer Brothers to move closer together, and eventually on top of each other. The end result is a no-death early hammer. What the player can then do is play...
Alright, so I fought this guy on floor 8. Okay, so now we want to fight you.
Time the end of each level in World 2 with the tasks. They usually have only one frame, or a 60th of a second to time each of these, or sometimes a couple of frames. Obviously, it's not easy to get all these timings correctly in a run. As it's still pretty new, no world records have been accomplished yet with the manipulation. But, Mitch has had some success...
Alright, next is floor 7.
And given that this type of early hammer provides a 30 to 35 second time save over no early hammer, this game still has a lot of history in front of it. So, questions must be asked.
No, they
Will the
shouldn't.
rivalry between
I
Karua
meant to
and
go.
Doom in the future?
I got it.
Okay, I wasn't punished
Oh my
that much for it,
God, I got it.
thankfully.
Will a new challenger rise up? And just how low is the record gonna go? We'll just have to wait and see. Thanks for watching.
So I need to use 2 more Thunder Punches, 2 more Crunches in order for an elixir to be worth it. So I'll keep that in mind. Alright, next summoning salt video. Putting on the blind hole.
To defeat Mike Tyson / Mr. Dream.
Alright, I'm sorry, what floor am I on again? Floor 7? Okay.
A dream, I suppose.
So you're not going to get to see me beat Mike Tyson at a marathon ever blindfolded.
This will be the comic relief of the evening. I'm going to attempt to fight Mr. Dream with my eyes closed, and I'm going to lose in approximately 30 seconds.
I'll fight him blindfolded just for fun, but you know, this is the blindfolded portion of the run is pretty much over. So.
Have you ever played a game so much you think you could
No.
play with your eyes closed?
No.
For nearly everybody,
Got poison point.
for nearly every game,
And you have high defense. I'm gonna risk it.
never be accomplished. But
Okay,
for
good.
one game, a boxing game from 1987, a group of gamers have attempted to make that.
Should have
dream
used Thunder Punch
reality.
here. There.
Mike Tyson's Punch-Out is a game where reaction and quick decision-making is necessary for completion. You've got to look at what the boxers are doing and adjust your play accordingly. Of course, this involves careful reading of the situation in front of you, and in order to do that, you'll have to use your eyes carefully. At least, if you're a normal player. For the past several years, a dedicated group of gamers have worked with each other in an attempt to complete as much of Mike Tyson's Punch-Out as possible while blindfolded. It involves dodging out of the way of
I'm on
punches
floor
that you
7.
cannot see,
Okay, so now we're gonna do floor
figuring
6.
out when you're
For
invisible
floor
to
6,
the
we're gonna fight you and use an
impossible challenge
elixir.
But if there's one thing the speedrunning community is good at, it's doing the impossible.
Against you, I'm not gonna risk it. I'm fine with risking it against you. Elixir. I believe we have we have a regular elixir somewhere here. Guess it's fine. There we go. As you see, we got all of our health points restored here. I don't know why I did that. I'm an idiot. That's why I did it.
It's impossible to say for certain when blindfolded Punch-Out was initially attempted. There were probably people trying it just for fun back in the 80s and 90s. It's unclear how far they got, and it's unclear how many people were trying it. However, as far as this video is concerned, the primary area of focus will be what's out there on the
It's
internet.
not a competition, but I'm winning.
And that story begins in 2000.
Cause I'm so timid and submissive. Outree.
The very first edition of the annual charity speedrunning marathon.
Okay,
G, who at the time held the world record for the original Super Mario Brothers, was there to do a speedrun of the game,
Okay.
with the simple goal of beating it as fast as possible. However, he
Unix.
first did an attempt of playing through the game
England,
blindfolded.
I've not had a problem with.
I'm gonna try to do the first level.
It was not the cleanest attempt. He hadn't really done much.
It was
practice
barely an
beforehand,
attempt.
so he was just trying to get as deep into the game as he could. But even though he didn't make it past 1-2, it still made for a really fun run.
It's just funny to hear them like burst out into laughter.
The crowd was into the run, Andrew G was into the run, and everybody watching was having fun. One of those people watching was Sinister1, a future Mike Tyson's Punch-Out speedrunner. According to Sinister1, this run ultimately inspired him to try something similar.
Oh, okay, you're
Super Mario
thick.
Bros. He would be playing Mike Tyson's Punch-Out.
You should not in a million years have lived that. His defense has to be 0 with how much special defense like I've got.
Sinister1
Oh
was
my
one of
gosh.
the best Mike Tyson's Punch-Out players in the world when this run was performed in January.
Alright, next is floor 5, right?
But he had
Yeah, floor
achieved all
5.
his personal bests and world records with his eyes
Trainer
open.
here.
And when playing with eyes open, the rules of
His
Punch-Out
aura
are
is
quite
fine.
simple. The basics of this game are dodging and punching. You must dodge out of the way when your opponent throws a punch, and punch your opponent.
It's not a
when they throw an
competition, but I'm winning.
So, this begs the question. How do you know when to dodge and when to punch when your eyes are closed?
You don't.
How is playing a game like this while blindfolded even possible?
You
Let's
don't.
examine it from
Wait.
the start. Glass Joe, the first of the 14 fights in Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, barely even throws punches at all, so Sinister is able to hit him in the face repeatedly. By hitting him at strategic times, he earns star punches, which are uppercuts that take a lot of damage off the opponent's health bar. At just a minute and 12 seconds into the first round, Sinister is able to defeat
You're
Glass
thick.
Joe. The second fighter, Von Kaiser, made it a bit tougher on him. He actually threw some punches. However, these punches usually came out at the same rhythm every time, and since it was just the second fight in the game, Sinister was very familiar with their timing. So, he was able to dodge out of the way of most of them, and take him down with the help of star punches. Just as with Glass
Okay,
Joe,
marked you
it
off.
took
Okay,
Sinister
next
3
is floor
knockdowns to
4.
defeat Von Kaiser. In Punch-Out, 3 knockdowns in a single round signifies a TKO and awards you a victory. Sometimes, you can beat your opponent sooner by having Mario count all the way to 10 after knocking an opponent down, meaning he's knocked out. Alternatively, you can beat your opponent by decision after 3 rounds of boxing without a victor. If you get enough points, which are earned from punching your opponent repeatedly, you can be awarded the victory. But of course, if you get knocked down enough times, you're going to be unable to get up and will lose the match. Fight number 3, Piston Honda, was significantly tougher than the first 2. His patterns are extremely random and his punches deal a ton of damage. Almost whenever he wants to, Piston Honda can duck down and throw an uppercut. This is random, and since he couldn't see it coming, Sinister usually had no option but to take this punch when it came out. He was still able to sneak in a few punches to get stars, but Honda snuck in his fair share of punches too. After a round and a half of trading knockdowns back and forth, Sinister was finally able to get a 10 count knockout of Piston Honda.
Yes.
The 4th fight, Don Flamenco.
I feel okay. Next is floor 3.
Left and right punches on him was an infinite combo from the developers that let Sinister knock him down in under a minute. One more star punch a few seconds later, and Don Flamenco was down for the 10 count.
There's only one trainer. Oops, there's only one trainer.
Would prove to be a major roadblock. You only have to knock him down once for an automatic knockdown.
That we haven't fought anyway.
Getting this knockdown isn't easy. The only time Hippo can be hit is when he opens his mouth. He has a 3/8 chance of opening his mouth on any given punch. So, Sinister essentially had to just guess which punches he'd open his mouth on.
Alright, there's only 2 more trainers we have to fight left. They're on floor 2.
The first round. He decided to rematch him, and the second time through it went a bit better. He was still taking a lot of damage, but Hippo was opening his mouth enough for him to deal damage as well. Sinister knocked Hippo down at the start of round 2. Great Tiger was fight 6. He wasn't very tough. Sinister knew that he could repeatedly do a pattern of punching, dodging, and then delaying a punch to get a star. That, combined with using stars later once his pattern changed, allowed for yet another first round TKO. So, all in all, Sinister was performing admirably through the first 6 fights. Relying on just his game knowledge alone.
Alright, after this trainer we have full cleared Silthco. I don't know if I've ever felt full cleared Silthco, but if I have, then I'm not as impressed with myself, I guess.
He more or less had it all. Enormous strength, semi-random patterns, and awkward delays in between his punches. He was tougher than any of the fights before him. Sinister started off strongly by executing a 17-second knockdown on Bull 1 with a bunch of star punches, a strategy developed by Martin Charlebois more than a decade prior. He continued playing well and recorded a second knockdown by 102. He had taken just 1 punch from Bald Bull. From here, it all fell apart. He mistimed nearly all of his dodges and landed right into a bunch of Bull's hooks. He got knocked down 3 times in under a minute.
Better cook citrus berry, but it's fine.
The fight was over. The run was over.
Alright, I guess this ends the blindfolded punch out.
He made it a little less than halfway through the game. Bull was the 7th of 14 fights in Punch-Out. Given the little preparation he had done, this was quite an impressive showing. People loved watching this run. It was unique, exciting, and showed off a great amount of skill. And as it turned out, this wouldn't be a one-time deal. The next year, Sinister One was back at AGDQ 2013 to play Punch-Out blindfolded again.
I don't want Flood Punch to play it safe, but... Alright, full clear Giovanni, no heals except for berries.
Limited.
Very nice.
He'd already done it at a live marathon before. Perhaps a bit of the pressure was taken off. The first few
Alright, next we got Sabrina, and I've always had trouble with...
He took a little bit
Well,
of damage.
I haven't always had trouble with Sabrina, but the last couple runs I've had, I've had trouble with Sabrina.
Thanks to longtime Punch-Out player ADelicat, intentionally draining his stamina over and over. Hippo was programmed to always open his mouth once stamina is recovered, so Sinister made this happen as often as he could. He took care of great.
I feel more humble than Dick can be Matumbo after a stumble. Left him covered in a big pot of gumbo.
That's a good start.
A little over a minute into the fight, he had his first 2 knockdowns on Bald Bull. He just needed 1 more. But if you recall,
Same thing that happened last year.
this was the exact same situation he was in last year. He got a quick couple of knockdowns, and then the fight fell apart. And this time, it seemed like nothing had changed.
She's fine. Sucks that it's stab, but
The bull charge, which knocks Sinister down a second time here, occurred at 2 minutes and 2 minutes and 30 seconds into the first round. You have to hit bull in the stomach at a specific time to avoid getting knocked down, and doing it without looking was pretty much impossible.
why did you have to do this?
This meant that if you wanted a decent chance at beating bald bull, he needed to do it before 2.5 minutes. He did it. Sinister had officially made it halfway through Mike Tyson's Punch-Out while blindfolded. Fight number 8, Piston Honda 2, was another tough one. He threw really quick punches and they did a lot.
Why do you have to give me Altaria, man?
One severe weakness. When he did his bonsai attack, which occurred...
I mean, well, I do have a Pecha Berry, actually,
The
so...
player can hit him in the stomach to not just knock him down,
Okay.
but KO him for good. There's only a 4-frame window for this, or a 15th of a second. That's hard enough.
I'm gonna save here, actually, because it's been a while and I'm scared.
It's pretty ridiculous. But all Sinister needed to do was correctly time it once, and he would make it past Honda 2.
That's probably it.
That was a good run.
It had been a long battle, but he just couldn't hit that 4-frame window. At least he'd officially made it halfway through the game while blindfolded.
Alright, so next year we'll get past him. Eventually we'll just, we'll get through the whole game eventually.
Hit you, Delibird.
A year later, Sinister 1 was back yet again. And as usual, his Twitch stream from the
Nice, don't know if crit mattered.
No blindfolded play. All week at the event.
Same stream, at least it's his last one he sent out.
This year, but Sinister 1 had kept his lips sealed. So, when he started his run on that Friday afternoon, expectations...
Alright, we only got one more trainer, and it's the
Just as in
middle
previous
left
seasons,
trainer.
Fight by fight, he took care of the early boxers with ease.
I was ready for you that time.
Alright, let's just...
He eventually made it to Bald Bull, and this time through it was really clean.
Alright, now we just need to get to,
All of his dodges corrected.
now we just need to get
Even
to
without taking a single
Sabrina.
knockdown.
I don't know how long that'll take.
It was on to the second
Let's find
half of
out.
the game. See this guy sitting on the couch behind Sinister? This is Punch-Out speedrunner Zallard 1. The night before, Sinister, Zallard, and Contra speedrunner
Great, I just did the opposite of what I was supposed
and
to do.
discussed their upcoming GDQ runs. Although Sinister hadn't told anybody about any blindfolded preparation this year, he had a surprise to tell these guys. Offline from his Twitch stream, he had been extensively practicing
Let me do
blindfolded Punch-Out, and he was prepared to at least have a chance at making.
There we go,
it all the
okay.
way
We're at
to the
Sabrina.
fight in the game.
I'm gonna go...
See, it turns
No, I'm
out
only
that
could
the
equip
players
Citrus Berry if I'm
had
already in
very
range to
good
automatically heal from
success
it.
playing blindfolded Punch-Out. They weren't at AGDQ.
I'm gonna go ahead and toss out items that I don't
One of them
need
was
here
Bad
so that I can
A
like
double.
focus on my heals and stuff.
Been able to make it all the way to Mike Tyson when he was a teenager in the 90s, but there's no video proof of this. He is verified to be a skilled player of the game, but this obviously would have taken enormous amounts of practice. Sinister knew of Adelocat's accomplishment, but there was another blindfolded player that gave him more inspiration. A guy known as Schmitty300. Schmitty saw Sinister's HDQ 20.
I have 5 moonstones, that's insane.
Inspired to put in the time to try himself. After a lot of practice, he recorded an attempt.
Alright,
to
we got only heals here.
Friends. The first half of this run is apparently lost
Dome.
due to technical
Less
difficulties,
cluttered.
but what still exists today shows him starting on the 10th fight of the game.
Oh boy.
He then
Okay.
defeats Bald Bull 2. Don
There's not really much to do except to just go ahead and do it and...
Super Macho Man twice, takes
Oh
him
boy.
down in dramatic fashion.
A little nervous, but we're fine. Okay. Hitting with Venomoth. I can take a Venomoth. Let me take a look at my X items real quick. So I got 3x accuracies, 1x special, 2x defends, 1x attack.
The only fight
Okay.
left after Super Macho Man
Let's go Flame Wheel here.
difficult Mike Tyson, who he
One
obviously
shot, good.
blindfolded.
X is
We'll
Togetic.
talk more about strategies for these fights later, but he had a nearly flawless
One shot,
knowledge of
good.
his opponent's patterns
From
and
Pig.
had a plan for just about every situation. This
One
is
shot,
the
good.
opponent's
Raticate.
strategy
I've never encountered Raticate. Let's just go crunch.
Be super careful to get everything right. The fact that Schmitty,
Okay, we're gonna mark it even switch defense because like he shouldn't have lived that, but he did.
inspired Sinister to take it a bit more
So it's
seriously.
whatever.
But of course, there was a catch. Schmitty was able to do this offline.
Okay,
in front of
really low defense. Oh my gosh.
Sinister
know.
One would have to perform it live in front of
Jolteon has
dozens
really
of
good defense. Let's just go crunch.
all while it was being streamed in front of tens of
Almost a
thousands
one
of
shot.
viewers.
Oh, and we got
That
mud
was
slapped.
Sinister's
That's not good.
but nobody in the
We
crowd
missed.
behind him knew what he was capable
Crap.
of doing. Nobody
Okay, we
except
didn't miss
for
the there
Flora,
though.
who was sitting right behind him on the couch.
Last trainer is, or last mon's pincer. Let's just one shot and okay. We beat Sabrina no heals. We beat Sabrina no heals. We beat Sabrina no heals. What? We beat Sabrina no heals. What? We beat Sabrina no heals. What? We beat Sabrina no heals. We get a TM and it's TM4 and it's I don't know what it is, but we'll find out in 5, 4, 3, 2.
This year, he had practiced
Needle arm?
using
Oh, we
Mario
can't learn it. Dang it.
punch.
All right, that's
When
fine.
he heard a certain blip
Even
in
if I,
Mario
to be honest, I don't even know if I would learn it. I really don't. I would have nothing for steel types really, except for Thunder Punch.
With Honda 2 out of the way, Sinister attempted to make his way as far into the rest of the game as he could.
So I'm not really upset about it.
Incredibly tough, but because of all his
Lying
practice,
in bed.
he was prepared.
I'm gonna do my best, but this guy can totally own you.
Fight number 9 was Soda Popinski.
All right.
He had a specific quirk that made beating him a bit easier.
Okay.
When he crouched down to throw an uppercut.
Okay. Ferdy Gym is finally acceptable. 10 trainers to deal with.
You can then hit him to get a
Okay.
start punch,
Quick trainers to
and using the start punch
okay.
will automatically knock him down no matter what. There were a couple
All right.
of
It's
problems.
time to
Soda sometimes randomly throws
time to do
punches
Giovanni's
and
gym.
uppercuts, which you can't get a star from. And even when he does throw an uppercut, he can randomly delay before throwing it. And given that you can't see this delay, you kind of just have to guess whether or not to throw the punch. So
I still haven't gotten
Soda
strength.
tried
Let me
to
go do
combine
that real
all
quick.
the random hooks and delays that Soda gave to wait for
It's
an
not a
uppercut, so he could
competition,
get
but
the
I'm
start
winning.
knockdown. He recorded 2 knockdowns in the first round, and got knocked down himself in round 2, but was finally able to get the TKO after getting some uppercuts. Next up was Bald Bull 2. His punches are generally thrown
Powder,
at the
okay.
same time
Not
throughout the
useless.
fight, but they deal a lot of damage if they make contact. Any mistake can result in disaster.
Excuse me.
Which is exactly what happened to Sinister in the first minute of the fight. He pulled it together though, and was able to even
All right, I'm gonna go pee real quick,
His second bull charge gives
and we'll take on Giovanni's gym when I get back.
13 frames instead
So
of
I'll be right back, guys.
so he simply
Give me a
dodged out
second.
of the way of the first one to
I'm just
win.
gonna let the video play so you guys can watch it.
He was able to get stars and use them in round 2, and since Bull 2's health was weak each time he got up, he was able to finish him off. Fight 11 was Don Flamenco 2. His pattern for the first minute and a half was to throw straight jabs over and over, so Sinister simply blocked each of them and countered with face punches. He intentionally got him down to low health at the end of round 1, and then waited out the rest of the round. Since he didn't have time for a TKO in round 1, he was going to get 3 knockdowns in round 2 instead. And round 2 is very simple too. He threw a punch, Don countered, and he dodged out of the way to hit him with face jabs. Rinse and repeat for the first 2 knockdowns. He then intentionally got knocked down himself, because when he got up, Don 2's pattern was to do this.
Lighting up the clock.
11 fights down. He had blown any of his previous runs out of the water, and the crowd was amazed as to how he was doing it. There were only 3 fights left in the game, the first of which was Mr. Sandman. Sandman is all about speed. If you don't know exactly when his punches are coming out, you're gonna get hit, and you're gonna get hit hard. Most of his rolling jabs in the first 50 seconds come out at the same time every time you fight him, but Sinister still had some trouble countering all of them. At a minute and a half into the fight, Sandman did his first Dreamland Express. He stands in place, then at a random point unleashes 3 really fast uppercuts. Sinister basically had to just guess when to start dodging, and he ended up getting hit. In
Alrighty,
round
guys, I'm
2,
back.
Sandman does a Dreamland Express every time he gets up from a knockdown. By punching him twice in the face, then dodging left repeatedly, Sinister was able to lock in a timing that was usually able to clear him out of the way of the 3 punches.
All right.
Each time, he was rewarded with being able to punch him in the stomach.
Shivani's gym time.
About all he needed in round 2 to take Mr. Sandman down 3 times for the TKO.
Pulling up the gym map real quick.
Unbelievably hyped.
There's so many trainers in this
Last
gym. Little Noi this.
opponent in the game. Now
Let's do it though.
try fighting the 13th one, the second to last one, Super Macho Man.
Actually, let's do it. Wait, hold on. I'm an idiot. We should do the double battles first.
Variety of punches he could throw, including the mini spin.
Should do the double battles first.
Out at a random time and takes off about half your health if it makes contact. But the one nice thing about Macho was the delays between his punches were usually very similar. Sinister could dodge a punch, hit him a few times, then wait a
Oh, and then there's that trainer up to the left of Cerulean City we gotta fight.
Punched. He was able to record a knockdown a little over a minute into the fight, but then got tagged by one of his punches and got knocked down. And in this brief moment, Sinister made a decision that could only be described as game-changing. Instead of getting up right away, he elected to wait to get up on a 9 count, the last number before you'd be knocked out and awarded a loss. In Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, you're able to get up after a knockdown by pressing A and B on the controller repeatedly. If you do this right away, you would get up when Mario says 1 and get a lot of your health back. However, the Punch-Out programmers put in a little secret when you get up. If you get up when Mario says 9, instead of getting up with some of your health will be completely replenished. And as an added bonus, whenever you knock an opponent down when you yourself have full health, they will automatically get up with a lower health refill. However, getting up on a 9 count, especially when you can't see, is extremely risky. If you're off by just one number and get up when Mario says 10, it'll be too late. You'll be counted as knocked out and the fight will be over. In fact, when Sinister was doing offline practice in the weeks leading up to this run, he specifically wrote in his notes to never attempt getting up on a 9 count against Super Macho Man. He would have had to rely on counting Mario's beeps since he had a blindfold on, while he was already under enormous pressure from having made it this far in the game, while a crowd of nearly 100,000 people was watching him, all while knowing that a single mistake getting up would end the run. But in the heat of the moment, Sinister forgot about the warning he had given himself.
Brrr. Yeah, forgot. Boy.
He did it. He got up with full health and he continued fighting Super Macho Man. When he knocked him down again later in the round, because Sinister 1 had full health, Macho got up with far less health than he otherwise would have. And this small health refill left Sinister with just enough time to knock him down a third and final time before the first round was even complete.
I didn't mean to go to Cinnabar, I meant to go to Fuchsia.
Has beaten 13 fights in Mike Tyson's Punch-Out blindfolded live at AGDQ, largely using strategies he had come up with on his own. The place was erupting with cheer. Of course, there was still one fight remaining, Mike Tyson. But Sinister explained that he basically had no chance at all of defeating Mike Tyson blindfolded. Not just at this event, but probably ever. Sinister's explanation that he gave the crowd before fighting Tyson blindfolded was something along the lines of this. Mike Tyson's punches, at least for the first minute and a half of the fight, all knock you down in one hit. And as mentioned earlier,
Oh, soundproof prevents prayer song? I didn't know that.
Means you lose. Each of these punches has 4
It makes sense. I never really thought about it.
A 0 delay, a 1
Alright,
delay,
I think the only other double battle is below Fuchsia City. I don't think there's any other
essentially just guess
one.
which
Oh, no,
direction
there's one, the one below
so you
Pewter City.
couldn't see it visibly, and then dodge hoping
Or
that
Variant
the
City, I
guess
mean.
was right. He would then have to keep up those 1 in 4 guesses for nearly every punch in the first minute and a half of the fight, which would obviously involve astronomically small odds, and then somehow figure out a way to deal with all the randomness in the following rounds. He likened the odds of beating Tyson blindfolded to winning the lottery, and sure enough,
A bit
when he
dramatic.
started fighting Tyson, he was beaten within the first 90 seconds. But regardless, to this day, AGDQ 2014's Blindfolded Punch-Out lives on as one of the most memorable runs of all time. The hypeness of the crowd and exciting atmosphere of the run have been practically unrivaled. And as a quick side note,
Just trying to see if I can encounter a wild type illusion, get the free experience.
Super Punch-Out, the sequel to this game, while blindfolded as well. Imagine how daunting it would be to have to follow up what Sinister just did. Well, let's just say Zallard1 did a pretty good job of that.
I got worries. I thought it was a pair song. I forgot it was downproof, and it wasn't even pair song. Oh, okay.
So, that was the state of Punch-Out blindfolded. Sinister improved.
Nice. We leveled up just in time for the gym. Perfect timing, guys. Perfect timing.
Mike Tyson, that was a different story.
I don't think I have any rare candies, unfortunately.
The world said that beating Tyson
I used a rare candy earlier.
People believed him. And so, that's where the game stood for a long time. But eventually, one man decided to challenge that notion. His name, fittingly, was D. Tysonator.
Alright, now we're ready for Giovanni. Hey, mentally prepare real quick.
Who's doing it? Ban it. Let's see it.
D. Tysonator is one of the most prominent Punch-Out players in the early 2000s, becoming the first person in the world to TKO
Calibrate the fingers.
One on the North American version.
Alright, let's do it. No going back.
Of course. For years after that, he didn't do too much work in Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. But after watching Sinister's run at HDQ 2014, he became inspired.
I've had problems with Magneton.
Stopped short of doing.
Yeah, Magneton's a little thick, unfortunately.
His strategy was pretty simple. He would use an audio cue to know when to dodge out of the way of the first uppercut, and then assume that Tyson would give him the shortest delay for every single punch.
Yeah, I knew he was gonna go for focus punch. I wasn't gonna risk it and heal.
The shortest one for any punch. He got knocked out. Surprisingly enough, his attempts actually went really well. He was surviving the first minute and a half of the fight a lot more than what was statistically probable. He was still getting beaten up in round 2, but the fact that he made it that far so often was miraculous. How was D. Tysonator defying the odds? Well,
Your mom. No.
Sinister One's explanation he gave at AGDQ was actually incorrect. For most of Tyson's punches,
Dude, another Magneton? Seriously?
A long delay and a short delay. These timings can vary between punches, so sometimes it seems like more than just
Oh no, I've had problems with Mew.
But for the most part, you're either going to get a short delay or a longer one. So, the Tysonator is only playing 50-50 or better odds on a lot of these punches. That was significantly more reasonable. Throwing enough attempts at it eventually yielded him some pretty nice results, fight after fight of getting to round 2. His round 2 pattern was pretty random, but nothing that knocked you down in one hit like in the first round. The Tysonator is able to develop a game plan. He would listen for punches at the start of round 2, then counter in the gut to earn stars. Hooks came with about a half-second delay before each of them immediately after, which the Tysonator could throw the star punches into. He often threw 2 quick uppercuts in a row, which could be countered for a lot of damage. In round 3, hearing no punches for a few seconds signaled a pattern of 2 quick jabs and an uppercut, which could again be countered for a lot of damage.
What did he set up there?
With mental notes like these,
Furret is actually kind of thick. Let's go for Secret Power here. Let's see how much it does.
He was able to make it deeper and deeper into the fight.
Oh, you
And on
suck so
June 1st,
bad.
2014, in the back of his video game store, ANC Games, in a dark corner of Twitch.tv in front of just 2 chat members, while the world wasn't paying attention, the Tysonator.
We're gonna have to heal here. Well, have to. Let's use Soda Pop.
Yes, you went through distance, guys, we win. Guys, we did it. We beat Mike Tyson blindfolded. Can you believe it?
Also, Levisa.
I can't believe this, guys.
27 years after the game's original release, every fight in Mike Tyson's Punch-Out
It was a little thick.
verifiably been
Didn't
done
survive that, though.
all blindfolded. It's possible Tyson had been beaten by someone else earlier, but this appears to be the first time with video proof. Even though he hadn't played the game seriously in years, the Tysonator was able to come back and show just what was possible with the blindfold. But he wasn't quite done yet.
Yes, guys, it's over. Hasta la vista, Mikey. It's over, man. Terminated. Yes, you bitch. Knock out.
Let's use Super Potion here.
Mikey, you're done, bitch. No way.
Hypnosis again! How are you hitting through freaking paralysis?
The Tysonator got really
Dude!
doing Tyson
How does it keep hitting through paralysis?
the first 13.
Seriously?
Just Tyson himself.
Come on. This game's bullcrap, dude.
More consistent thanks to help from an unlikely source. Battletoads world record holder.
That's so annoying.
JC watched
Excuse me.
and came up with a maneuver
Finger burp.
called double quick dodge. In order to compensate for Tyson's 2 delays, you could do a quick dodge at the early timing, listen for a punch, and if you don't hear one, do another quick dodge as soon as possible. This dodge will dodge you out of the way of the longer delay. So, as long as you can react fast enough to the early timing or lack thereof, both timings will be accounted for.
So I have 8 heals.
Took to practicing this.
4 of them are full heals.
He was able to beat Tyson blindfolded.
Okay, we're gonna eliminate here.
Every time he tried. In the span of less than a year, the community went from thinking beating Tyson blindfolded.
I'm gonna go for a crunch just in case I get really bad luck or something. I don't know. Just not worth the risk.
Mikey, take it easy, man. Alright, terminated. You guys saw it? Since the run?
Well, at least one person did. Through early 2015, D. Tysonator was actually the only known person in the world to have beaten Tyson blindfolded. He could do it nearly on command, but nobody else could even do it once. And then came another revelation. In late January 2015, there was a strong blizzard on the east side of North America. Longtime Punch-Out player Jack Wedge was snowed into his apartment building for a week, and had a bit of time on his hands. Similar to D. Tysonator, Jack had been playing Punch-Out for many years, achieving world records back in the early 2000s, but then he put the game aside for a while. But after watching D. Tysonator's blindfolded
Alright, it's Giovanni time. We got every trainer in the gym.
quite a bit of spare time, he decided to try doing a bit of blindfolded Punch-Out for himself. What he discovered over the course of that week, however,
Give me luck.
was a way to make blindfolded Punch-Out way easier than anyone had ever imagined before. He
Make it slow it down.
buffer strategies.
It leaves with Knock Towel. We're just gonna Thunder Punch.
In Mike
Should
Tyson's
one shot?
Punch-Out, buffering
Good, good, good. And we level up here, which is really nice.
You hold down the buttons for the next action.
Plus 3 special attack, plus 2
and
speed,
aim
plus
for
3
the next
HP.
action on the first frame possible. For example, you would hold up
Okay, Thunder Punch on
in the face,
Helper.
then let go, and while the punch is going on,
One shot,
hold
nice.
B again. So, as soon as the first face punch is done,
Blow bro, we're
the
gonna go
next will
crunch.
automatically begin. You can do this over and over again.
One
with
shot, crit.
combinations
Not
of
sure if it mattered. Hopefully it didn't.
moves together. Now,
Chillery's level 75. Dear lord.
well, buffering input
Thunder Punch doesn't one shot. No, that's fine. That's fine. It's not preferable, but it's fine. Gonna Hyper Potion here. That's fine.
42 seconds with a well-timed punch. By buffering,
I'm a little worried about Future Sight here. I'm not gonna lie.
2 right gut punches, then 2 left gut punches. Either the last or second to last left gut punch will always hit Glass Joe during that 4-frame window.
Okay, didn't do that much.
Glass Joe's pattern. This is because if all these
Oh, we only have one Thunder Punch left.
they will all be
Okay, it's fine. We got Vileplume next, and I can
so this
Flame
series of
Wheel.
punches will take the exact
That should
same
one shot.
time every time. Glass
Good.
Joe can easily be knocked out at 42 seconds.
Last
every
mon
time
is
this way,
Ludic.
as famously discovered by Zallard1 in 2013.
It's
For a
fine.
blindfolded speedrun,
Not preferable,
these
but it's
rules will
fine.
still apply, and
We got a
if
crit,
you
nice.
to see what's happening on
We
the
beat Geo no heals.
you can buffer
Unless you count the heals I used earlier in the gym. I used a Super Potion and a
punches.
Soda
Jack
Pop.
Wedge took this to an extreme and figured out
Oh boy.
And in the run he recorded from his
Alright, last chance for a new move. TM26 is
you can see
Bone
his
Rush.
in action.
Might as well at least see if I can learn it.
You can buffer a face punch, then 3 left dodges. The
I
third
can't.
will
It's fine. I wouldn't have
automatically
used it
dodge
anyway.
the way of a jab from Von KAIZO.
Alright.
Then you buffer 7 more face
This
punches,
is it, folks.
hesitate and then dodge. Then buffer
me
a face
heal.
punch and a star punch.
And then, let me switch out my berry. Switch out my pests.
These
Pecha for a,
and took a ton of memorization.
I don't know.
Like Bald Bull 1, for example, where you needed
Burst
to
it?
adjust your buffer
No,
based on
no,
the
a
punches of your
spear,
bull throw.
no. Rather, Rost.
But
We'll do
some
Rost.
had a huge benefit. Piston Honda 2, for example, had a buffer strategy that guaranteed hitting the 4-frame window at 1 minute for the knockout. Armed with these strategies, Jack was casually making
Alright,
it through the game, nonchalantly defeating
Rival time.
everybody who dared
Boo
to
doo doo doo. Rival time. Boo doo doo doo. Okay, King has gone to static. Let's go for secret power here. Sharpen. Okay, outspeeds me. Let me write that down.
But what Jack had up his sleeve for the Mike Tyson fight was absolutely brilliant.
Okay, next is Aerodactyl with crap ton of special defense, which sucks.
One-hit uppercuts for the first 90 seconds of the fight. He would buffer punches to lose
Pedal
stamina
dance.
for
Oh
basically
no
one
no no
punch.
no 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 no. Okay, that is fine. Doesn't do that much. It doesn't do that much.
He would dodge out of
It doesn't
the way
outspeed me after speed boost.
and lose
Good.
the rest of his stamina. Tyson always throws punches at a regular interval.
Okay, next is almost star.
So Jack just buffer dodges to get past it.
Outspeeds.
He then
Oh,
lost
no.
the
Shut up.
rinsed and repeated it until the minute and a half was
One
up.
shot, please. One shot, please.
He didn't
Oh,
do
thank
much
you.
damage to Tyson, but he was always able to survive. In rounds 2 and 3, he battled hard against Tyson. Buffer strategies didn't help him much here because
for crunch
Tyson's
here.
pattern was just too random. But Jack's game knowledge
So it's on one missed.
in the end.
Absolutely huge. Hitmon's Hitmon top. I haven't had problems with. Let's go Thunder Punch. Normal type. That's completely fine.
14-0.
For the first time ever,
Last mon is Armaldo. Okay.
verifiably beaten Mike
A little
Tyson's
worried about
punch-out
Armaldo.
start to finish without
Go for Thunder Punch. Maybe we get para.
Jack uploaded the
Meditate.
video
That's completely fine with
and
me.
a few days later,
Completely
he
fine.
got viral. His punches and counters
We're going to the Elite Four, baby. We're going to the Elite Four, baby.
naturally.
We are going to the Elite Four, baby. We're doing it.
To how fast and how consistent.
Woo!
Throughout 2015, players
Elite
put together
Four,
the best
baby.
strategies possible for beating Mike Tyson's punch-out blindfolded. D-Tysonator even became the first
Dude.
person to beat Mike Tyson in round 1 while blindfolded. He had to hit 11 frame-perfect punches with his eyes closed.
Terminated. Hasta la vista.
All right.
Oh my God.
Get our HM on.
Stop, Mikey, guys. It's over.
And in early 2016, Sinister One and Zauer
I'm gonna re-equip the
against each other live at AGDQ 2016.
the
The odds of
Rost
getting two players to beat the whole game
here.
blindfolded live in front of tens
Or not
of
Rost, the
thousands
Pecha.
seemed grim at first.
because we're about to go into a
Community
you know
came
like
together
thing.
to help figure out as many consistent strategies as possible.
I'm not really sure if that made sense or
Sinister,
not, but
Zallard, Jack, even a certain YouTuber who had approximately 9 subscribers at the time.
The one they're using for this fight comes from a Tyson runner named Something Salt. And
Many of these strategies were small buffer changes, or listening for certain audio cues. Sinister and Zallard practiced Mike Tyson in particular for weeks, in order to get the best odds possible beating him live at the event. Zallard was able to do so in round 2 and won the race, but Sinister was running out of time to finish him off in the second round. If the fight made it to round 3, he probably would have lost because of Tyson's ridiculous randomness in the third round. But at the last minute, Sinister was able to hit a frame-perfect punch. He had a 60th of a second to time it in order to get a star and finish Tyson off.
put him down.
There we go. Give it up.
After this race, Sinister One set a world record for beating the game blindfolded from start to finish.
speed. Okay.
21 minutes and 32 seconds.
That was a choke. But we still got a record.
Then, the blindfolded craze died down for a while, with the only active player being D-Tysonator, who did
All right,
Mike Tyson
Victory
or
Road.
in blindfolded fights each week. And then, in 2018, one of the top players in the world decided to see what he could do with the blindfold. He'd been playing eyes open for years, and achieved top times in all categories he tried. But with a blindfold on, it was a different story. This player was MPAP. In April 2018, MPAP did his first serious attempts of Punch-Out blindfolded after having practiced a bit in the days leading up to it. On just his 7th ever attempt, he beat Sinister One's world record by 14 seconds.
It's over. I fucking got.
Not satisfied with that, he decided to keep venturing onward. He had a couple of new strategies he had developed to assist him. He was trying to set up a faster knockout over King Hippo by listening for Hippo to open his mouth multiple times at the start of the fight. If he got lucky, he could beat him in under a minute, as opposed to closer to 2 minutes with the old strat. And on Tyson, he set up a buffer that worked with certain patterns from Tyson to TKO him at the 130 blinking pattern. This once again was a solid half-minute faster in game time than he would be beaten normally. Strategies, plus getting better consistency and not getting punched, he was able to lower the record repeatedly over the following month.
Oh my fucking god. What is this pace? Oh my. Fucking hell.
MPAP has brought the world record down to 20 minutes and 27 seconds, which is where it still stands today. Perhaps more importantly than the final time, however, is how far blindfolded Punch-Out has come. The community went from struggling to make it halfway through the game at a live marathon, to beating it only 2 minutes slower than it can be beaten with eyes open. It's possible to narrow that gap by beating Tyson.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
But that's going to be a challenge.
1, 2.
What once sounded like little more than a dream has now become a reality.
Okay.
Gone are the days of needing to win the lottery to beat Tyson blindfolded. In their place are competitive speedruns to beat the whole game blindfolded in 20 minutes. There's not many games that have been beaten blindfolded. But based on what's happened with Punch-Out, maybe that's going to change. Thanks for watching.
Oh, I almost just committed suicide on accident. We're gonna play the BDSP special shot music. This is my music. To listen to. I'm pull the 10-hour version real quick. I don't know what the loop option is. Did they get rid of the loop option? Really not, right? I don't see it anywhere though. Alright, so I don't think there's the trainer here is like, yeah, not a real trainer. All right, let's go back and fight that trainer that's guarding the item. Rost, we take those. All right, we're gonna take on you next. Okay, poise point. I have to pitch a berry though. Find your last one. Poison point. All right, we gotta get out. Let me zoom out on the map, make sure there's not anything I'm missing. Nope. It's purely for time, baby. Time to organize the bag real quick. Force for maximum. Okay, so we got our regular potions here. We got our PowerPoint heals, our status heals, our X items, and then our miscellaneous. We got our regular items here, or all our berries or whatever here. We got 2 Rost, so we're gonna equip the Rost. All right, chat. Let's hype it up. I'm just let me try to find a new place to actually. I'll just make the window smaller. Well, I can't do that actually. I just don't want to screw the aspect ratio. All right, we're just gonna start over here. All right, guys, it's time. I'm gonna be sick. I guess I'm doing that, but I also can't stop doing that. It's Elite Four time, baby. Let's be KAIZO IRON. Let's do it! Woo! Low life first, baby! Later with Gyarados, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. So we only have 1x special. We want to save that for the champion. Thunder Punch. Thunder Punch. Outspeeds. That's fine. Got a poison, because of course you did. Come on, come on, come on. One shot. Okay, one shot, one shot, one shot. We're poisoned though. We gotta heal. We gotta heal. We gotta heal. Oh crap! Omastar. And Omastar is Razor Leaf. Oh no 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 no! This is bad. We gotta go Thunder Punch here. Hell no! Everything that could go wrong is going wrong right now. We got a crit. We didn't get a crit. We just got one shot though. Jirachi. Crap. We're gonna have to full restore here. by the end of this. Or something. We have a heal powder. We have an antidote. Should I just use that now? Yeah, I'm gonna use the antidote now. I'm gonna use the antidote now. Yawn. Crap. This is not good. Let's try to see if we can get burn. Okay, do we no, I think we're gonna have to full restore here, unfortunately. Play it safe. Thunderstruck, don't para. Crit. No para though. Thunderstruck, don't para, don't para, don't para, don't para, don't para. Okay, don't heal. Crap! Of course you have a citrus berry. Okay, please crit, please crit, please crit. Dang it! I'm gonna heal here. This is not going good. This is like the worst case scenario right here. This is not good, man. We need to try to get to burn. No burn. Crap! We're gonna have to use 2 full restores on Lorelei. This is not good. Okay, if it just spams Yawn, it's just a one-trick pony. Okay, even with the crit, we'll survive here. Nice. Don't kill though. Dang. Yawn. That's fine. I'm willing to yawn to the next mon. I'm willing to fall asleep in the next mon. That's fine. Oh, Crobat. Crap. All right. I might hyper here. I might hyper here. Let's. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna hyper now. I'd really appreciate it if you missed. He's not missing ever. Wow. He didn't miss 4 times in a row. It's 80% accurate, dude. We gotta use full restore. That's it. We don't have a choice. Crap! This sucks! And he doesn't miss again! You suck! Para. I don't even do half. Para. Para, crit. Para or crit. Dude, Lorelei's throwing out like literally every single difficult mon in this entire ROM. What is going on? She's literally using every Pokemon in the entire universe that I suck against. Literally every single one. What is this luck? And he lands both side waves. Lands all 5 cross chops and then lands 2 side waves in a row. This game is garbage. Seriously? Seriously? I have the worst luck in the universe right now. I got a max potion here. I don't have a choice. I have the max potion. Don't use anything stupid. Defense curl. Fine, whatever. dude, on Lorelei, all of them. This game, not all of them. I have a full restore left, but that's not gonna be able to get me through all of them. I was so optimistic, and then they threw back to back to back to back to back the worst Pokemon in the entire game. I'm not even exaggerating. I'm literally not even exaggerating. Okay, Walrein. Thunder Punch. Please one shot. Two shot. That's fine. Don't do that much. Okay. Didn't do that much. Eradicate has bad defense. We go Secret Power here. You got speed. He's got flinch. Get the para. Please kill here. Don't be a range. Thank you. Blossom doing counter. I have no idea what to expect. Flash Fire. Of course you do. Of course you Flash Fire and Thunder Punch. We lose. That's it. So you're honestly telling me I've never once in my entire life encountered Blossom in this entire ROM, and the first time I ever encounter it is in the Elite Four, and it has Flash Fire. If that's not proof that KAIZO's rigged, dude, I literally don't know what is. That was stupid. That was literally the stupidest way to lose ever. Literally ever. The worst Lorelei ever, and I run into a Blossom with Flash Fire, and there's no possible way I could have known it had Flash Fire because I've never seen it before. And it had super effective Thunder Punch. Whatever. That was really disappointing. I 1.5% should have won that, and I just got fricked. I got fricked to the bone. Everything that could have gone wrong went wrong. Literally everything. I mean, I'm not that disappointed. I personally didn't think that this thing would be good enough to win. I really didn't. Oh, I was fricked anyway. This ride-on is thick for no freaking reason whatsoever. You know, I was fricked no matter what. Like, I really just was. Literally everything that could have gone wrong went wrong. There's no way I would have been able to recover even after that Blossom. There's literally no way. Yep. I was screwed no matter what. From the get-go. This whole entire time, no matter how good I have done, which I did almost immaculate, almost perfectly the entire time, no matter how well I did throughout the entire run, I had a 100% chance of losing. That really feels bad to know that. I went through all that, and it was 100% pure luck. There was no skill involved whatsoever. There's nothing I could have done. I would have lost no matter what. I didn't even get to Agatha. Wow, that's really disappointing. What a letdown. At least I have comfort in the fact knowing that it wasn't my fault, I guess. But that sucks. I was looking forward to winning KAIZO IRONMON FIRERED for the first time. Continue with the runs at some point later this week, probably. But for now, I'm just going to leave it there. Hope you guys had a great night. I'll see you guys soon. Peace out.